Oh yeah, that's right. She is a polar bear. So beautiful white fur, clearly licked and maintained. Takes that dip in the lake whenever she can. Or well, icy waters, but same thing.
I'd like to apologize, guys. I just started recording because Michael forgot to mention to start, and I wasn't paying attention.
My bad.
Rip.
Well, we can always start over, but
I think we're okay.
all right. Just to recap, Judas Bear walks in, when he was told to sit down, picks up a seat, puts it on his back, and then starts licking the glass clean.
And he's a honey bear.
He's a sun bear. He's a sun bear.
Sun bear.
Sun bear with a tie.
So you got a sun bear and a polar bear.
Excellent. Take your seat, miss. We have much to discuss when the last member of your brigade shows up. And they have nice seats, and you see the same sun bear come in, puts a cocktail full of this golden honey. And Judah, I forgot to mention, when your bear starts drinking this honey, it is a highly delectable, fine, and I do mean fine, vintage honey. Your guess both of you guess probably with your immaculate palate that this is probably somewhere in, probably harvested in 94. It was a dry year that year, so the bees didn't have as much liquid in their system when making the honey, so it has a bit of a thicker texture to it. And as you sit there, enjoying this marvelous honey, finally the door opens once again. And you see your next comrade walk through the door. Heath, if you would like to describe yourself.
So anyways, as you guys walk in, what you see is not exactly a bear, but a much shorter and friendlier creature with a white streak, and as a honey badger walks into the place. And he doesn't just walk in, he glides in. He comes in there with like this confident air, and he comes in looking around and goes, well, this looks like the place, as he takes out a comb and starts combing the back of his hair, kind of like an Elvis Presley do. He goes, I have to say, this is everything I've been hoping for. This is the place, right? This is where the invitation was invited for a slick man like myself. Woo! It's kind of like, does like a spin and kind of walks in towards you guys. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Please, take your seat and we shall begin. But first... And he gestures again to the sun bear, who's now looking just kind of like a little annoyed having to walk back and forth so many times. Puts a glass in front of you, filled with this immaculate honey.
Oh, thank
My
you.
bear
Thank
is
you very
now
much,
attempting to eat the glass.
Meanwhile, all this is happening. Polar bear is, watching this feral little sun bear with the tie, and this strange motherfucker walking in thinking he's hot shit.
So, Judah,
she just sips.
as your bear just starts eating the glass, you see a look of confusion and horror on your panda bear host as he looks and just goes, "It seems my guys may have been wrong." And he gestures for someone else, and behind him you see this big grizzly bear come out, walks up behind you, and then just pulls out a fucking 9mm and shoots you in the back of the head, killing you instantly. Oh! Roll up a new bear, please.
Oh
Got it.
I liked my bear, man.
Poor baby.
He is dead. To be fair, I've done this as a tradition in every honey heist. Someone always dies within the first 5 minutes.
So I think you just roll a random die, or was it always going to be Judah?
No, the moment he started eating the glass, I was like, nope, that's it. Decision has been made. So
Didn't get to see what else he had, but that's fine. That's fine.
He had his last supper.
yes, it was good. So you guys, all right, Judah, give me a second. You are, all right. This actually makes kind of sense. Give me a second. So as you guys see this, just this display of brutality as the guy just walks up to him and just right in the back of the head, blood splatters on the table, and you see a little brain there. You see the panda bear just go, "My apologies. I'll have one of my personal best come in and replace him." As you see during the next 10 minutes, this bear is dragged out into the back room, and you see the sun bear, kind of annoyed at this whole prospect even more, go over with a rag and start cleaning up and picking up bits of like skull and brain matter, sweeping them into a little bucket, and then cleans the table as the door opens.
Escalated quickly. What the fuck?
Does my bear get to walk in at the same time that this other bear is getting dragged out?
Oh, absolutely.
The fuck happened to that guy? As you see this panda bear walk out,
Oh, I need to give you your ability too.
like kind of half, not like all fours walking, but it's actually all threes, as the other hand is strategically placed on the side/back area, as he just kind of goes ahead and models around, has like an eye patch with a noticeable scar that kind of goes through it, as he just kind of goes ahead and round and looks at all of you, gives you a nod before moving over towards the chair that had just recently been wiped of blood, and it's just like just like sits down.
Thank you all for gathering here today. So, it is time to explain why we're here. But first, introductions are in order. I myself am General Brigadier Honey Heister. He says this with a straight face, by the way.
God.
And for sake of introductions, and so that everyone knows who we are working with, and he gestures over to your bear, Judah. He says, "Introduce yourselves, my boy."
I don't really know a lot of you here, but the name's Wilbur.
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 Friends call me Wilbur, but for the meantime, that's all y'all get to call me.
Thank you, Wilbur.
While he, after he says that, he goes ahead, quickly stands up on his two back hind legs, pulls out what seems to be a small shoot of bamboo and a lighter. He lights one end and proceeds to smoke out of it before going back to his seat.
I will say, by the way, your cocktail was presented with a sort of bamboo stir stick.
Oh, if that's the case, then he's gonna use that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
It's just a cocktail on.
And you, my small friend, who are you?
Well, me, they just call me Grease. It's because I slick through everything and everywhere. Like grease lightning, all good stuff. He takes out his comb, starts combing himself some more.
All right. And it is a pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Grease, and you, my beautiful miss. Who are you?
The polar bear, at the compliment, just kind of prims her fur a bit, takes a sip of her honey in a, I'm assuming, like champagne glass, was it?
Yeah.
And she clears her throat. My name is Ruchetta von Ersa. It is a pleasure to meet you, old gentlemen.
Miss Ursa, I think it's mighty kind of you to stop by. So, let me begin by saying thank you again for meeting me here under such strict time constraints. I've gathered you because I heard you all the best of the best. Now, I'm not one to make propositions lightly, so I want you to know that when I ask this of you, I expect an immaculate job, and I expect results.
Clearly.
So, the job. Down in Chicago, they're hosting the annual HoneyCon.
They come to Illinois, motherfuckers.
What?
I'm in Illinois, like an hour away from Chicago, so this is
Oh.
So, downtown Chicago is hosting the HoneyCon, where some of the best bee farmers and honey harvesters come by to show off their best products and to attract customers. Of course, them prudes don't really care for bears, now do they? Say that we wreck the place and whatnot. But I think we can still get some of that honey, if you catch my meaning. Our intel has pinpointed where they're holding their most valued honey. In Barnabas's cattle and storage facility shack and vault. A bank with an absurdly long title, so we just call it the Vault. Now, I'm going to ask you fine folk to go over there. And my guy Sterling Water Breacher, will escort you there. But once you're there, I kindly ask you to get in there, find the honey, and snag a bit for your old friend here, Honey Heister. Now, any objections?
Master, you know I've been out of the game for quite a while.
That's why I
You want
need you
somebody
back.
like me in this?
Of course I want you in there. You're one of the best. If I don't have you in there, I can't trust just a couple of anyone in there. I've known you. You've worked for me. I wouldn't call you back unless it was for something great, something real.
Well, I've been meaning to put my name back on the block anyway. But what can these other two do?
That is a very good question. If I read your profile correctly, I need all of you to roll a d6 to determine what your role is.
If it isn't what I fucking want, I'm gonna scream.
Oh boy.
Oh!
Is it again?
4.
You just send me the picture? Alright,
Oh.
so... Oh, actually, I don't even need you guys to show me a picture. Just, yeah. Okay, so...
Oh my god.
Alright,
I'm afraid.
so... Zaku,
Look at the jobs.
Zaku, Ursa,
Yes.
Miss Ursa, you're the muscles. You can... If anyone gets in your way, you know how to not only pound them into the dirt, into the snow, but to do it in the most elegant of fashions.
Well, of course, my enemies only last until they are, shall we say, crushed ice. And she
You're
kind of
not-
pulls a little bit of fang.
You're not allowed to not use Widowmaker lines then. You're just not.
Heath,
Cool.
The
Heath.
sweetest
Yep.
kid.
you rolled a 4. You're the hacker bear.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I love
You know how to get into. You not only know how to get into small places, but you know how to get into the wiring of the system and to shake it all about to get to things done when you need it to be done.
Oh, well, that's a lightning part of my name, baby. Like, lightning is like how I hack into the system, eh?
Oh, I'm trying not to drop bear trivia on you guys right now. Oh.
Judah.
Fuck. Okay, fine. No, it's because it's funny because that's kind of like the thing that honey badgers are really good at. They can brave stings and crack through hives and whatnot.
Oh my
completely
god.
fine. So I think that's funny.
Wilbur,
Oh no.
you're the face. You know how to. You not only know how to talk to bears, but you're actually fairly good at tricking humans. You know, getting them to do what you want, luring them places just so your teammates can take them out when you need them. Yeah, it's been a while, but you still know your way around a conversation.
Yeah, that's all I can brave. He got his eye poked out because he once told a Yo Mama joke. That's it. God,
So-
that's great.
So, with the roles established and the destination set, it is time to get a move on. You finish your drinks, go over any last intel you can, and then Honey Heister says to you, My guy, Deep Diver, he'll be your escort to the location. I want this done quickly, quietly as possible, but if things get loud, make sure you grab the goods. Anything else, I don't really care about. If you find anything that's not honey, you're free to take it or free to leave it. I don't particularly care, just as long as we get our reward. I expect big things from you all, and if things go well, I'm sure I'll be contacting you all again.
Well, just a minute there, sweet Panda Bear Daddy. I just want to know what's our take in this whole affair there, you know?
Yes, what is our payment?
Assuming the heist goes well, I will allow each of you to walk away with 15% of the earnings.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but 15% of that's more than enough for a honey badger like me. Oh.
50% of the earnings and a potential future partnership.
30.
Oh, hell yeah.
Quite brave of you, miss, but I don't think you're really in the line. You're really in a position to work for more at the moment. Like I said, if you do well in this one, I might consider giving you a bonus. Or maybe if you come back with a bit of more of a smile on your face and would enjoy some private conversation, I could make it 20 just for you.
She raises a brow and just kind of gives a sip of her drink once more. Oh wait, or did she already finish it? Whatever.
No, you
Thinks
have a sip.
about it. She takes a sip, considers it. Fine, it's ok. That's it.
Sure, we'll see. Now, and he snaps his paw. Deep diver. And you see this polar bear walk in, wearing an immaculate suit, by the way. And he's pushing in a cart of things. And, he's got like a kind of heavy look to him. His fur is kept very well, and you do notice this, Ursa. And so you go in and you see in the bin what look to be human disguises. I need all of you to roll a d8 to determine what disguise you get. As Honey Heister just looks at you all and says, These will help you blend in, so any wandering human eyes don't just look at you wrong.
I fucking hate you. Disguises. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I'm so mad. Oh my god.
Judah, what'd you get?
I got a 2.
Alright. So that means that you, Wilbur, and Grease pull out 2 very similar looking hats. They're long and cylindrical with a wide brim. You have pulled out top hats. Well, never one to follow a trend. You yourself pull out what looks to be a fez. With a bear paw print right on the top of it.
That's kind of hilarious. I love that.
We have a French muscle-bound polar bear with a fez.
With a fez. It
This
is
is guy-
fashionable. This is acceptable.
These disguises will help you sneak in to the scene. But just be warned, once you start making your way into any place suspicious, anyone taking a look at you, let's just say humans aren't as dumb as they look sometimes.
Nah. I've had conversations with them. They're just as dumb as they look.
Oh, I tend to
This
agree.
is true.
Well,
Can you imagine those naked monkeys walking around.
It is disgusting, no. But time for talking is later. Deep diver. And you see the polar bear who turns around and you see that he looks like he's taken a Sharpie and just drawn kind of like a little twig mustache onto his snout. And he says, Yes, what is it, sir? Escort our fine guests to the location. Right away, sir! And he just kind of... And he starts leading you guys to a large, very large van where he takes you to the airport where you have been dropped off and been taken by a cargo plane to Chicago. The flight is long, and they're only playing reruns of things like Over the Hedge and the Yogi Bear collection. But you've had worse flights, all of you. Eventually you land in Chicago where you see another polar bear, and you get the inclination you've seen him somewhere before, but it can't be the same guy because his snout is now covered, like the top parts of his lip are now just completely covered in Sharpie. And he looks at you and he says, Howdy. You folks climb in the back of the van. We'll be heading off soon.
Bruschetta takes a look inside the van, gives it a sniff, looks at the seats there. Do you have a cushion or anything of the sort? It's a little bit, see a little dust there.
This is what we got. What we got is what you see. Now, get in or get out. I don't care much.
This is gonna be some fucking pain. Hey,
He kind of like raises his supporting arm towards Ursa, was it?
Bruschetta von Ursa.
Oh, bruschetta.
Bruschetta's her first name. Ursa's her last name.
Miss Ursa,
Mhm.
you mind if you could just hit my back real hard in this area? If I'm gonna be going through this ride, I don't want to be clutching my side all the damn time.
Your bones are not in the right place. It is misaligned, judging from your posture. And she whips her paw back and gives him a very merciless smack.
Good.
Roll for you know what? Roll for criminal, and since you are the muscle, I'll give you advantage. So roll 2d6 and take the lower of the two.
Okay, 2d6. So 1, 2.
Ooh,
Alright, that's a success. So move 1 point from bear into criminal.
Oh man.
I got
So
it.
you are now 2 bear, 4 criminal. And as you give him a good whop before you get in, you hear just a lot of just bones cracking into place. And Wilbur, there's a moment of pain that you're used to, and then bit of relief.
Damn, you have an arm.
Oh, that was mighty impressive there, miss. Oh.
I am the myself for a reason. That way, no foolish men they come towards me. And she bats her eyelashes, gives a little wink, and then makes her way into the truck, though very uncomfortably sits down in the cleanest place she can, brushing it off.
Alright.
Damn.
So you all
Don't
get
make
in the...
this old bear catch feelings.
Yeah,
So-
quite a woman there, eh? Oh, these... Moves in
He
after,
kind of
sits up.
looks you up and down for a moment. He's just like,
Quiet little man.
Oh my god.
Well, just so you know, I might be little, but I'm as fierce as they come. Where? Where? Just combs his hair, goes inside, sits down.
We'll see how that
Oh
plays.
my god.
Oh boy, what have I started?
Oh,
You
best
asked
thing
for
ever.
this one.
Oh,
I'm a bear, man.
hey there, little pretty bear mama.
Oh no. You've gone from Elvis to fucking Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo is Elvis, man.
I know, but like it more accurate to him.
Yeah, he's kind of both.
Christ. So, you two, I'm assuming you two follow suit and find a place to sit down?
Yep.
Alright. You all get in, and you hear a bit of a as the van starts up and starts driving down. You see the guy. You see this polar bear who has not introduced himself. Go. All right, we're gonna drive around for a little bit because y'all got here a little early. So as to make the scene night, so the bank's closed by the time you get there. And he then says, "By the way, little guy, go
Oh, yes.
beneath your seat. There's some packages from the boss. Take them out and give one to each of your companions."
Yeah, no sweat there, Daddy-o. He crawls in under, it goes right under, like starts pushing out the boxes. What has he got?
You pull out 3 small jars of honey. You would each know that this would be enough to transfer 1 point from criminal into bear if you so needed it.
Yeah, we'll put 1 honey in for everybody.
Sweet.
Oh, sweet. Jar honey. Here goes, shit. Here you go, honey. Honey for the honey. As he hands one to...
She just gives him one look, an eyebrow, and then takes the jar. Merci.
And one for you there, Wilbur. And he under tosses it, like underhand toss to you. Catch. Oh.
Catches it, takes out a spare stick of bamboo and begins to stir it, but doesn't drink it just yet.
All right.
He gives you a nod. It's just appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's what I do.
So as you guys start talking about whatever it is you so desire, sun begins to set as you drive around for about another hour or two, and then as night begins to take the sky, the stars start to show through what they can through all this light. You finally pull up to a back alley, and you see the bear, who is again yet to introduce himself, turn around and say, "All right, we're here. Now I'm going to be circling this place for a little while, but if shit goes haywire and you need an out," and he hands, we'll say to Wilbur, because he probably knows Wilbur the best. He hands Wilbur a little paper packet that feels like it has some sort of sand or something in it. "Just throw one of those on the ground and I'll come as soon as possible. But only do that if shit hits the fan, alright?"
You know me by now.
I
Not
know.
to overestimate a situation.
I know. You just gotta make sure you watch yourself, and that's why I'm giving this to you. Make sure none of these other two don't blow the cap on this lid too soon.
Got it.
Alright.
I'm confident they'll do all right.
Yeah, it's you, not me. Alright, now get the fuck out and get going. Boss wants this done as soon as possible, and I don't want to keep him waiting.
Got it. Don't get too bored in that car there.
I got my tunes. And you guys, I'm assuming you guys get out?
Yep.
Alright. When you get out and close the door, he just starts driving away. Okay, so, from what you know, you were about 2 blocks away from the vault. As you see a 2-block street in front of you, and you see this large, at the end of it, a large glass pane-covered building. About 3 stories. And from what you've gathered from intel, you know that the vault itself is underneath the bank. However, you don't know too much more besides that there's likely to be security guards in there, which you can probably tell from this distance from little shines of lights, probably flashlights from guards doing their patrol, and you probably know that the vault itself is not going to be necessarily easy to get into, and that you'll probably need to find some sort of access code or key card. But there are 2 blocks in front of you before you get to the vault. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'll say, Grace will go, "Oh, maybe you should scout the place out. Make sure there's no 5-0 or whatever around, eh?" Oh.
Good looking. I'm just about to look for some humans.
I will look for a way in.
All right. I would like, as you guys are now just kind of giving a general search about the place, I will say, since you two are keeping an eye out for other critters, I will say Grease and Wilbur, you two make bear checks as you're just keeping an eye out for people as you make your way up to the bank.
Okay.
Ursa, make me a criminal check as you are now specifically looking for a way into the building.
Oh, 3! That's a success, right?
Move 1 point from criminal into bear.
I just
I don't know if that's a success or not.
That is a failure.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Oh wait, sorry. I have to look at the thing again. For the criminal check, I do a a D6, and then if it's either under or at, then it's a success.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I said, guys, you guys can keep. I will keep updating that sheet if you guys want to keep bear stats open. I'll update it as we go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep it open. I will update for you guys. Just keep it open. You can see what your numbers are.
All right. So Wilbur, the sinuses are clogging up again, and your vision ain't what it used to be. You take a look around, but they don't see no one wandering the place. However, you, Reese, you're used to scurrying around to keep your head high. You see what looks to be 2 humans start walking down the street. They round the corner near the edge of the bank, and they don't seem hostile per se, but you might be able to walk by them without catching their eye if you play your cards right. And you, Ursa, as you just start making your way towards the bank and start trying to scope the place out a little bit, you do see what looks to be a side entrance with a guard standing by it. No windows towards that particular area, but it is kind of in the middle of an alleyway. Maybe a good place to get some cover. You are also starting to feel very confident in your abilities as a thief.
You have 5 criminal points and 1 bear point right now. Just so you're
Oh
aware.
my god. Oh no.
Might be time to chug that, honey.
Okay. Yeah. Feeling confident, but she's not gonna make any move just yet. But she will. Yeah. Take that. Take that honey.
Okay. So
All right.
delete your honey.
Is it? Do you have to chug the whole thing in one? Is that how it goes, or can you eat like a half of it? Or
Yeah, you gotta go like for the whole thing, otherwise it doesn't work.
all right.
It's like a
So
health
she-
potion.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wait, am I
Okay,
at criminal for bear 2 right now? I shouldn't.
You're 3-3.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 3-3.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 4 bear, 2 criminal. You're looking at mine, not yours.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, because I
So-
succeeded the bear roll.
So Ursa, as you very gingerly start sipping from this honey jar, you feel the edge start to come off a little bit. Like you're like, gotta make sure you just keep yourself well rounded. Make sure you don't play your hand too early, so to speak. You do. So as you guys are making your way down the street, though, you do see a couple of stores. You see a thrift store. You see what looks to be a bakery. You see what looks to be a jewelry store. Another. You also see what looks to be like a sort of like. I wouldn't say club as an establishment of which people gather for certain reasons.
One more
But-
time?
You see what looks to be, as you're walking by, a bakery, a jewelry store, a thrift store, and an establishment in which people gather for various reasons.
Actually, 1 sec there. I guess Judah got a bear because he failed, right? And he got 1 more bear, 1 less criminal.
For me, I don't give you points for bear when you're doing a bear scale unless you actually succeed.
Okay,
If
so
you fail-
Okay, I'm just curious. I'm just trying to keep. So
Yeah,
what?
you succeeded, but I failed.
Yeah. So did I get a bear point, or do I just stay flat for the bear?
You get a bear point because you succeeded in the bear
Okay.
challenge.
Yeah, just not sure how the rules work completely with yours.
I give you point. I will switch over your points if you fail badly. So if it has, for in this case, since Judah didn't notice anything, he isn't necessarily aware that he failed unless there was an immediate repercussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you start making your way over to the bank. Are you guys doing anything else before you get there, or are you gonna go kind of like get near the bank?
Well, I'll point out to our face. He goes, "Oh, we got a few humans over there who might be interested in looking at us. Face, you might want to go take care of it just in case they become a problem later, eh? Low cover, low profile, and all that, eh? Huh?"
And then Issa also speaks up while they're talking to each other. Wait, are they far away or?
I'll say they caught up to you at this point.
Okay, yeah. If they caught up, then eventually she'll also pipe up and say, "There is a guard by a side door in the alleyway. It could also be a good cover for later when we do our business and head off for the night."
Here's what I'm thinking. Typically speaking, humans, from what I've seen, they're not too curious until they actually get their attention. Until then, they're more concerned about themselves than they ever will be concerned about us. As long as we don't make too much of a scene, I won't even have to speak. But for now, we could just move on by. I bet we just look like a couple of husky, weird-looking humans.
Oh, indeed.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, we still need a way in. So we either take care of the guard, and she does a little wink, or we take care of the guard.
Well, as aware, we have like one of them electronic key code things, and well, not to brag there, pretty mama, but when it comes to key codes, nobody's better than me. And he takes out his comb, and lightning fast reflexes, hair comb.
So you know how to manipulate them metal square things, right?
Oh yes, I know all about the keypads and the wires and everything, that stuff like that. I can hack the mainframe like nobody's business.
I don't care about your damn sorcery. I just want to know if you can do it.
Well, there, pretty panda daddy, I can definitely handle it. Oh, my name ain't Grease Lightning.
Well, then, lightning to it. Show us the scale before I punch the fancy square box into pieces.
We'll
I
call
mean,
that
that
Plan B.
is an alternative. I don't really like that sorcery to begin with. Here's what I'm thinking. Mr. Grease, go on ahead and see if you can find a different way in via that whole magic that you do. And as for you, Miss Ursa, make sure to watch him, and if he ends up getting himself caught, you can just... And he kind of drags a hand across his neck.
So we are playing that route. Alright, let us go.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
either way.
I'm pretty sure that's like human speak for like hit him or something like that.
She raises an eyebrow.
I saw it
that
on the movie
route.
once.
Alright, so either way, I shall take care of them. Let us go, little creature.
No, whatever you say, pretty mama. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. Oh.
I love it. I hate it so much, but I love it.
Well, I was planning to do an impression tonight, and I got slick, and I'm like, nobody's slicker than the king, baby. Oh.
It's like this very joyful cringe, I feel.
Oh boy.
This is great.
So, just to clarify, what is your plan here?
So Grease is going to try another area to hack into. Ursa is going to make sure that he doesn't get caught. And what is Wilbur's thing?
Yeah, well, I don't know what Wilbur was doing. Wilbur just kind of stands there.
Oh yeah, no, he's just kind of keeping like a secondary aspect of watch, you know.
You're the secondary
Like,
lookout? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Regroup
So-
if Wilbur succeeds, basically.
you
Or
guys are looking for a different point to hack into the door.
Yeah, we're looking for an
Yeah.
access hack point so I can get in there and do my thing. Oh.
I will let you know, Ursa, that you did see a sort of panel next to the door that the guard is standing by.
Okay.
I just spilled water on me.
Rip.
Judah, no!
Moist boy.
Actually, if the guard is by the panel, I think Grace will just say one quick thing without extra details, like, oh, instead of maybe moving out there, why don't you, Wilbur, see if you can distract the guard while I make my way up there and stealthily move in there and hack the system. Oh, maybe you could
Give him a
see.
little jam.
Well, I suppose I could, but you're gonna have to make sure to have my back if things go south, which, well, as you can see, I'm not in the best condition.
And I will point out that his fur at this point, it's instead of white and black like you've seen every other panda bear, it's actually like a white and kind of a dark gray. He's getting old.
You're getting old.
Don't
Ursa
worry about
will she'll wink and say, "Of course we have your back," and she kind of similarly to how she realigned his back, but a little less intensely, smacks him again.
He kind of uses that to spring forward.
Alrighty. Let's move on.
Oh, whatever you say.
Alright, so then, Wilbur, you are going to distract the guards so Grease can try to access the panel?
Yes.
Alright. Wilbur,
What's the guard looking like? Explain.
the guard is probably about a 30 to 35-year-old African-American woman. She has shorter hair, is wearing a cap and a badge. You see on her person a large belt with various things on it, some of which you may have an inkling of the idea of what the nature of it is. Other things, probably some sort of snack that humans like to eat.
Shooters, lightning stick. Oh man.
So, what are you up to there, Mr. Wilbert?
Oh man. Let me think.
Come on, face.
No, I'm trying to think of my bear voice now. Which of course is helped by the fact that I'm a thief. But let me think.
So think of what you're gonna say as what you would say as a normal person, and then do it as a bear. So we know what your intention is.
Hold on. I hate it. I just tried it. Kind of. We'll begin to kind of stand up, kind of put his shoulders back, and kind of almost saunter up, around, and kind of put his back against the wall. He kind of feels his spine do the jiggy things that they normally do, and he's just for a moment there, puts his hand on his hip, just a little bit, just to keep it from acting up again, and he's just
Tough night, huh?
Alright. Make a criminal check with advantage since you are the face.
oh thank God.
Batman!
I am the Bear Knight.
Heck!
They
No, you're
both
good, don't worry.
succeed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You-
okay,
you,
so...
you got a 5 because you rolled the pluses, man. You got 3 and a 2.
Alright, so you do succeed, so you move a point from bear into criminal.
I got that.
And as you say that, it's kind of dark in the alleyway, and as you say that, the guard is not even really looking at you necessarily, kind of glances towards your direction, but not really giving you a good look, and is like, yeah, well, same shit every night, but, going on vacation next week, so it'll be fun. I'm sorry, who are you?
What are you doing for vacation?
Again, not really, kind of glancing your direction, not really looking at you. She just says, "Oh, well, I'm just heading up to Switzerland for a vacation with my hubby. Nothing too bad. I'm just gonna be enjoying some time off."
Okay.
So as this is happening,
As this is happening, I want Grease to turn over to Percent and go, oh, hey there, pretty mama. Well, could you give me a fastball special right onto that box so I can get in there and get on it? Hell.
Fezbul,
Yeah,
all
just
right.
take me up
And
and throw me over. Oh.
she picks him up with giving him a strange look, but hoping that trusting in him is a smart idea. And she's gonna whirl him to the box.
Since this is not specifically part of your role as the muscle necessarily, I'm going to say roll for bear.
Roll for bear. Here we go.
Oh, come on.
3.
All right, that's a failure. So as you
Oh
lob
dear.
him over there, you see you overshot it just a wee bit, as strong
Okay.
as you are, and
It's empty.
Wil-
Eats into the sun.
Wilbur, you just see like behind the guard, you just see a little honey badger just go sailing through the air and just like right above the door into the stone, just bonk, and just kind of peel back like a cartoon, just and land on the ground. The guard just goes, "Huh? Oh." And then you ask her question about the vacation. She's like, "Oh, well, my vacation's gonna," and she continues on with the conversation, not really noticing what has transpired behind her. But I will say, Greece, that incident kind of, oh man, that hurt. Move a point from criminal into bear for me.
Oh Jesus! Did I gain a bear point when I did the bear thing? Is that always the case, or is that only when you do criminal? Just double checking.
For me, it depends on what exactly the result is, but I usually try not to give you points into bear if you're doing a bear thing, because if you fail, as rules as written, if you fail, you get.
Okay, so I'm probably at 4-2 then, because I did that earlier without thinking about it. So yeah, because I'm 4-2 then.
Am I back to 3-3 then?
Uh,
Or no, I failed it, right? So I
well,
don't get
yeah, it
anything.
depends how much
Yeah.
you fail. Yeah, it depends on it,
Okay.
but yeah. So I'll just kind of shake my head. Oh, let's get this going. And I'll climb up there and because I need this to succeed. Okay there, Grease Lightning. Just remember what your mama taught you how to hack, and I'll do a flashback. Give myself more criminal. As I go,
All right, what is your flashback?
You see Grease going on there. Oh, mama, don't worry. As you see his like mother goes like, it's what you do is you do the hack cache code in the C- code there to say yes. Oh, mama, yes, mama, I know what you gotta do. Gotta go in the information mainframe, mama. I know what I gotta do. Just like
Imagine a little cub Grease found a Rubik's cube. Oh,
I will hack this, mama. I will make you proud.
All right, I like it. Move a point from bear to criminal.
Okay, and then I get advantage because this is my hacking ability.
Yep, you are now like you go. This is your hacking ability, so you get advantage. So roll me 2d6 and take the lower of the two.
Oh, I got a 3, so I succeed. And a 1, so fuck, I would have got either way, but nice. Oh, yeah, I could feel the lightning going, mama. I could feel it. It is just running through me.
So as you're feeling it, you very quiet. I will say you very quietly are able to use your claw to just sort of pry open the box to get at some of the wiring, and then. You, from an outsider's perspective, it looks like you're just going nuts and just ravaging the thing, but you know what you're doing. You've trained for years to work with the humans' electric boxes, and you've pulled out just the right combination of wires, and you see the little light on the doorknob go from red to green with a little tink. As this is happening, Wilbur, you see. The woman goes, "Yeah, it'll be fun to, just go on and enjoy some of them tulip shoppings that they got up in that area, But I should probably get back to what I was doing." She's kind of like, she looks like she's about to turn away back to her attention towards the other way.
So I take it I got a point in the criminal.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Enjoy your
yeah.
trip to Switzerland.
You get a point in criminal for that.
Yeah, just double checking making sure I'm running it. So as I finish up there, do I have time to scurry down, or do I gotta?
I will say make a bear check for me, as you are trying to move very quickly with your little honey badger legs.
Oh, I'm gonna so fail this. Yep.
So as she starts turning around, she looks over as you kind of hit the ground. She looks down. She looks down. And is like, "Oh, the hell is this?" As you can see her just take out her nightstick.
Oh, baby, you don't want to step on these blue suede shoes. And I am going to go Carnage on her ass and just run around her feet and claw at her.
All right, make a carnage check. So that'll be bear, and since this is your bear skill, you have advantage.
All this is happening is just like, lady, it's just a weird rat-looking raccoon. I don't think it's actually a problem.
She is not paying attention to you whatsoever.
Oh, 2, I got it!
Why not fuck with honey badgers?
So you just go feral for a moment and just start and just start like really scratching at her ankle. She goes, "Ow, damn it! Ow, 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 ow!" And you can just see like you actually nick some sort of like important vein or artery in there, and you can just see like the blood just starts gushing out.
Oh.
And she just goes, and passes out due to blood loss.
Ursa walks over and says, "And here I thought I was in myself." And she will take this body and just kind of drag it over, find some trash bags, and buries it.
I will say that is easy enough to do. You're in an alley, so you just kind of go over, pick up the body, and then just like very uneloquently just boom into a large trash bin.
Before Ursa does, Wilbur kind of like, Bear, just kind of like holds out a hand and is just like, hold on a moment. And he kind of like moves on over towards her and like will sniff the new fresh corpse. Nose ends up at a pocket, and he goes ahead and pulls out whatever snacks that she had been having. It's like a fat Snickers bar.
You know, I will say roll for criminal. Just a regular roll for criminal, just to see if you can search the body to find anything.
Finger gets caught in pocket.
Yeah,
shit.
bear trap.
No. You just start, and as you're like just trying to like move your paws through her jacket and whatnot, you just feel a sharp as you go ow, and you just feel what looks like some sort of like glass device, like glass box that seems to have cracked when she hit the ground, and you cut yourself on it a little bit. That hurts. I'll say move a point from criminal into bear.
God damn it. Damn humans and keeping dangerous objects on them at all times.
And this is why bears are more superior. We have them naturally.
Exactly. And at least those damn things don't stick in you and give you splinters.
Well, and she just dumps body into the dumpster, closes it up.
Unceremoniously, you just boom. Wipe your hands clean of that mess.
She also just kind of wipes off the dirt nonchalantly with her foot, making it look like it's not blood or anything. Someone dropped some wine in there.
It's a little obvious to tell, like, someone who might see this is not gonna really go like, that was wine. That's very hard to make that.
I mean, I got her ankle. You should blood up through the ankle. You shouldn't be covered in blood dumping a body.
Yeah, maybe
you do have a little blood on you. I will say that, Miss Ursa, you do have a little blood on your body as you on your paws as you move the body.
I have to shower again, and she just kind of starts looking at her paw. Well, go on. Allons-y.
Yeah, the door's all wide open, lady. Oh, let's get moving on. Let's moving on in. Oh.
So, you go to the door and you open it up. It leads in what looks to be a stairwell. You see a flight of stairs going up and a flight of stairs going down.
I think I want stairs.
I don't
Much to your
remember there being a
dismay.
floor plan.
Well, in other places, they have them moving stairs that move up and down, but damn, humans really are the worst walking.
Oh, well, What do you think? Go down? I mean, safes are heavy, right? And heavy's always going down, right? Huh?
I suppose. There ain't no elevator here.
As far as you can tell, no. This seems to be purely a stairwell.
Well, let's get a move on.
Start from the bottom, and then from the bottom, the only way to go is up.
Yep. Let's not try to split up, though. If any of you get caught, you're gonna want me around at best. Well, actually, nah. I'm better by myself. The two of you, if anyone should stick together, it's you.
I can take care of myself, thank you very much. And she just kind of tilts her head up, her chin, and starts to walk her way down. She's gonna start sniffing, out for any kind of sense, whether it's human or honey or anything strange in general.
Alright, I will say make a bear check, as you are now trying to use your senses to gain information. As
Bear
you are...
check.
Yeah. Can Wilbur do that as well?
Yes, and you have advantage since you do have sense honey.
Oh well, no, because I'm panda now.
Oh, that's right, I forgot you are now a panda bear. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just make a regular bear check.
So, 2.
I forgot, I brutally murdered your character in the first 5 minutes.
Not again.
Oof.
So I picked the lowest, was it?
Oh, you
No,
didn't
you
have
said
advantage.
this was just yeah, so this was a 4, and you... What's your bear points at? So you fail, so you just... There's no particular scent in the air. Wilbur, you are up if you wish to try to sense.
I
Game.
tried. It failed.
He rolled a 6 again.
Oh, yeah, no, both of you. This... If anything, humans keep places clean.
By the way, this point system, so I'm a little confused. So isn't it? It's a success if it's a 6 or under.
Yeah, no. It's a success if it's equal or under the score. The stat you're using.
The
So you're
stat-
bear 2, criminal 4. So if you're using a bear
Oh,
stat, you
yeah.
have to roll a 2 or a 1 right now to complete to do a bear stat. Hence why I'm
okay.
keeping track of
that
those
sets the
numbers,
bar.
right?
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Cool,
Okay,
cool.
if that's the case, I want Grease. He's gonna look over to see if there's any cameras by.
Cameras, okay. I will say make a bear check, because you were, again, looking for something.
I've been in medieval D&D for so long, I forgot that cameras existed.
Nope.
No, you all just like... This place is a very unremarkable, unsignificant area that you just have no... There's just no defining features of this place.
No,
Oh.
please.
As you are in the stairwell.
There has to be a camera, but he thought it was just a mirror, so he checked out his reflection and left.
No, I looked at the reflection. I combed my hair to make sure it was nice because I just got thrown into a wall, so I had to fix my hair. And then I left. Oh, whoa, that got some split ends here. Oh, gotta look pretty for the mamas.
Just a
It
passing
crawls back
threat, or
down.
passing thought.
So, you have the above and below. Where are you heading off to?
Well, we didn't find anything below just yet.
Well, you guys really haven't left the stairwell.
Yeah,
You guys are just...
we have to. I say we head on down. Oh,
Head on down. Alrighty.
and then we can move our way up. Oh.
Alright. You start making your way down these stairs. Wilbur, it's a little tough for you, but you're used to toughing through some shit.
Yeah.
But as you start making your way down, you notice that when you hit the bottom, you notice a very clean-looking room, very well lit. No guards, surprisingly. And you see just this very large, safe door with a computer panel next to it, and what looks to be a few keyholes in the door. It's interesting. But there doesn't seem to be any discernible features in the room that you can tell by first glance.
I think this might be where the humans keep their weird green papers.
Is useless. I've given it a taste and it is horrible. Horrible.
I will say, you know from the recon that you were told that the honey is probably being kept in the vault that is below ground.
Low.
Well, it's probably further down then. Oh.
You guys were on the first floor before. You're now underground.
Okay,
Oh.
so this is probably the safe, huh?
You sure?
Well, I mean,
Let's
apparently the
say
humans keep all that green stuff where the most valuable stuff is, right? And what is more valuable than that gold and sweet honey? Oh.
Fair point. Fair point. I forget this new age of humans are all so weird. I'm sorry, you were trying to say something earlier, Ursa, Miss Ursa.
No, this is the words out of my mouth. It's just that is what the boss has said. What is this door here? It's a strange metal and little holes in them. And Ursa's gonna inspect the door.
Metal's what
just
you called it.
taking- Better.
Oh,
Whatever
I was
it is,
called-
is it fast and hard to go through?
So,
I just always call them shiny rocks, but that's besides the point.
well, in any case, this safe here's got to be open. So, what kind of safe are we looking at? Is it a dial safe? Is it an electronic safe?
So you notice that basically it has a large, like one of those very large, comedically large actually, like turn things. You know, like kind of looks like like a ship's wheel.
Yeah,
kind of
the
actually
turn
open it.
lock. Yeah.
Yeah. But you also see on it there are two what look to be keyholes, and next to it a computer module.
Well, pretty mama, this looks like this is my specialty up in here and running. Oh, let me take a look at that there computer module and let's see if I can get my grease lightning hacking skills on. Oh, gonna crack my claws.
So, Grease, as you approach the computer, immediately you noticed there's no power going to it. It is completely off.
Well, that is just the darndest thing.
And what is the problem now?
Well, apparently these stupid humans forgot to plug it in. Oh, I wonder how they're supposed to open up the safe if they don't have the electricity to run into the pad.
Again, stop it with all the sorcery talk. Just tell me how we can fix it.
Well, you see, generally what you gotta look for is this long snake-like cord thingy that has to plug into the box and make it all activate. It casts the electrical lights that go streaming through the electrical currents of the cords up into the verticals, lighting the thing on, energizing the entire lock system. So look for like a black snake.
Nothing.
I don't like snakes, but for this mission, I suppose I'll look for one.
Gonna mosey on off and find a cord.
In the immediate vicinity, in the below ground floor, you do not see anything else. There is no cord in this room. This
Ursa,
computer
got
module
any-
is built into the wall next to the
This
safe.
Well, this is just weird.
Sorry.
I guess he goes, well, it looks like whatever is keeping this thing set might not be computerized or is shut off. Tell you what, Mr. Ursa, why don't you see if you can give that big old door handle a twist there? Maybe it'll unlock it.
Well, I suppose if I break it, I break it. And Ursa will attempt for, I guess this is criminal?
Well, as you go to turn it, you don't really. It doesn't budge, and this is very unusual. It is whatever this thing that these humans have made is. It is very strong, and it does not want to move. If you want, I'll say the experience is frustrating enough. If you so desire, you may switch a point from criminal into bear, as you are like really exerting yourself and just not able to do anything with it.
Yeah, she definitely, like, at first, she's trying at her normal strength, and she's just like, huh. And she does it again, and it's just not working. And then she just starts snarling in frustration, and she's just gonna try to go ham on it as much as she can. And you can hear the metal creaking and cracking, but it is not going through. Well, it looks like the humans have evolved slightly, and, well, I cannot go through this metal.
They ain't never been good at fighting, but they sure are good at hiding, that's for sure.
Well, one second there, fellas. I got an idea. I'm gonna pry open the box to see if there's any missing, like, loose cords inside the actual the computer box.
All right. I will say getting into that module is probably a bit tough for you. This isn't whatever it is. It's sturdy. I will say you're gonna need a bit more like raw power to try to get into the insides of this thing.
Okay, he'll just turn after seeing that. He goes, Miss Ursa, maybe you could work some of that mighty magic of yours on this here box.
Well, that one does not look as hard as this, so I will give it a try. And this is like a little module box, so she'll take out her claws and with a little shing, and they've clearly been nicely trimmed and grounded into rocks to make it nice and sharp. And she just starts prying at it with one paw.
All right, make a criminal check with advantage.
So it's +2.
No, just roll 2d6.
Yeah, you just roll 2.
Why didn't I think? God fucking damn it.
Yeah, you succeeded.
All right, so a 2 is a success. So, you move a point from bear into criminal, and as you start pulling at this thing, you have to use 2 paws. Like the humans, as weak as they are, they definitely know how to build things that are a lot stronger than them. But you are able to just, and with a loud metal creak, you do manage to pull it open.
Well, this is done. Have a look at it.
Bunch of weird fucking almost like you've killed a seal before and you've seen a bunch of strands of just this red stuff and kind of
Entrails.
of meat. Yeah, just meat and entrails. It kind of looks like that in there, except not as wet.
Are those intestines or something else?
Oh, yeah, that is the, you could call it the intestines of the computer, Mama. I'm going to go take a look at now that it's open. Now I will take a look at these wires to see if anything's screwy.
Alright, make a criminal check with advantage to kind of give this thing a diagnosis as to why it's not functioning.
You can
Actually
play
gonna
drop.
Yeah, one nice double ones,
All right.
Jesus.
Alright. Yeah, no, with that, move a point from Baron to criminal, but with that, you are definitely able to be it just clicks in your mind. It's like, oh. And you kind of run your fingers along the wall onto the door, over the keyholes, and you're just like, you got it. Whatever it is, the circuit's not complete unless those keyholes are in the right position.
Oh, baby. We need the keys for the keyholes.
Michael,
Yeah.
while they're doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and move on over towards the stairwell and kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. So you move over and keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while he does that, I'm going to quickly eat a honey because I'm starting to feel a little too much like a criminal, Mama.
Yeah, no. you open up that jar, just take a quick shot, and just.
Oh,
better,
yeah,
better.
that's the good stuff. Oh. All I need is some peanut butter and honey fried sandwiches. Oh.
Wilbur, as you look up, you don't hear anything coming your way. Nothing seems to have noticed that loud creaking metal noise yet.
So now that I noticed that, I goes, oh, we're going to have to find... You know what? I wonder if that guard had any keys on her. Maybe we should go rooting through the trash to see if we could find them.
Ugh, touch that dirty thing again. Well, I don't. Unless you need me here, I can go.
Well, it's either you, Mama, but maybe perhaps we should have Mr. Wilbur go up there, huh? After all, if we run into any humans, he can talk his way out of it, eh? Oh.
That is true. How do you feel, Mr. Wilbur?
Run them by me again. I'm a little bit hard for hearing, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, we need some keys. Maybe that security card I took out had some on her. Meanwhile,
Oh, yeah.
Well, you do that. Me and Miss Ursa here can go upstairs and see if they left some keys up in the office or something.
Ever get the humans do things like that? I'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll meet you back here in about 10 minutes. Come on, Miss Ursa. Let's see if we
Ready?
can find those keys. Oh.
Don't get yourself caught.
Yeah. I'll be careful.
All right. We will start off then as you break off into your two groups real quick. We will start off with Wilbur.
Alright.
Wilbur, you make your way back up the stairs over to that body, and you drag it out of the out of the trash can. You do. As you do see that flies and rats have already begun to start swarming at to see if it's actually alive or dead, and you can see a few nibbles on it from here to there.
God.
He swats away a few, grabs a fly, and plops it in his mouth as he continues to search through her body.
Oh my god.
Disgusting. You. But as you search through her body, I'll say make a criminal check as you start searching through her body.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, first class success.
All right, All right, with a 1, I will say you don't find keys, but you do find what looked to be one of them zappy guns, a nightstick, a wallet that seems to have some of that green stuff that humans like, and what looks to be a couple of pictures of the woman who is now laying before you, and what looks to be her cubs.
Oh no.
Oh god, I killed a mother.
You monster! She's gonna go on her honeymoon.
Well, the honey badger ruined the honeymoon.
Oh
And
A big score.
you do also find a note written in human speech, and you, being the face, are able to roughly translate it to something along the lines of fishing competition, wins a chain, fishing competition, not canceled by rain. With a little note under it saying, "Why the fuck do we have to write this shit down?"
Ugh. I never cared too much for fish anyway.
Throws it. He's just kind of like sifting through. Actually, no, he'll keep the paper. He'll keep the picture too, because it's like his own little thing to bring back to the boss. Yeah, he'll kind of like hold the lightning bolts and the lightning gun, and he's just like,
Well,
I will let you know it is not a shock baton, just a regular nightstick and a taser.
he's gonna call it lightning and thunder. Then I don't
Okay.
care.
Okay, just like you know.
He sees the two of them very often on security guards, and he's associated things with such. And he's just like,
I have the power of a god now.
Boy.
he goes ahead and like. Actually, for the sake of this, if this is okay, was she wearing a hat?
She did have a security hat on, yes.
All right. Well, since I can't put on literally anything else that she has, he's going to.
I mean, you can try.
You know what?
You never did this.
Let's go.
He never described how big the woman was.
That is true. That is true.
She could be one of those
That is-
400-pounders. They exist.
That is true. That is very true. Then
You know what?
He will attempt.
I will say make a bear check to try to squeeze into this.
All right.
Just to, like, suck up your gun. Alright, so you start putting it on, and you hear a little bit of a rip behind you, but you're like, you can like play that off, and then like as you start putting the last button into place and start buckling the bell, you just and your stomach just like goes out, and you just hear a loud pop as the buttons just fly off, and the belt just snaps, and the pants just fall off, and you're just wearing tatters over yourself now.
Humans. They can make damn impenetrable walls, but they can't even make fucking clothes.
I will say you do have the hat though.
Nice.
So you have obtained your second hat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
2 more and you become a god.
Collecting hat. Oh my god, what is this, TF2?
This is
Anyway.
this game, but bear version.
The Infinity Hats. There are 4 of them. You have found 2.
Oh my god.
It does have a little blue glow to it.
A purple top hat, blue. Okay, yeah. Power and Space Stone, got it. Alright, but
So-
yeah, I'm gonna move
I was-
on there.
Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming you're starting to head back towards the way the others went. So you two, Miss Rasa and Grease, you two head up. So you hit what looks to be the lobbies. The lobby. So you do see a large open room, and you see 2 guards there. One of them sitting behind the counter and reading what looks to be some them humans like to look at, while the other is actually doing their job and keeping an eye out and kind of like doing patrols.
Ursa turns to Grease and kind of gives him a light tap, just like, we have 2 over there. One is just as stupid as the others, and one seems to be like trouble.
Well, we could, well, since the face ain't here, I suppose that only leaves one option for us, Mama. Then I take out my claws and go, chink! You want one or the other?
You're a little fucking monster, aren't you?
No, like,
My skill is
I'm happy.
carnage!
internally, I'm so happy because this fits Honey Badger's not giving a fuck ever.
listen. As your heist director or your HD, I have no opinion, but you are a fucking monster.
You've seen my Halloween decorations.
I mean, Wilbur kind of just like laughed at a picture of like of the White family. So
Yeah, we're all pretty much monsters here. We are bears.
we're not monsters. We're
animals.
We're animals.
So he turns up back anyways. He turns up back to Bruschetta and goes, okay, pretty mama, which one do you want? The one on the left or one on the right? Oh.
Oh, and she also takes out her claws with a little shing, and she gives a very toothy grin. I want the troublemaker.
Oh, woman after my own heart. Well, let's get him, mama. Let's get him good.
Would you like to start a distraction, and I shall follow suit?
Ah, you've got it. So I'm gonna go to distract them and make them look at me. I'm gonna go feral, and just go running right at them at full speed, right under their legs, so they're looking at me. So Bruschetta can just come up behind and slit their necks with her claws.
All right, one of them is behind the counter, so you'll have to get behind the counter. But I will say, both of you, as you approach your targets, Grease, roll for bear with advantage as you are using Carnage, and then Ursa, roll for criminal as you are using your muscle skill.
with advantage, I'm assuming.
Come on.
Yeah, with
shit,
advantage,
got a
with
5
advantage.
and damn it, no.
You kind of walked in like that one old man doing like imitating the dog growling.
Oh god, got a hairball.
All right, so Ursa, you move 1 point from bear into criminal, and
shit.
so as that happens, Grease, as you're trying to scratch at this one, you notice that this one is wearing what looks to be ankle guards, and so as that's happening, he just goes like, "Hey, what?" As he just starts like, and he shakes you off, and you actually kind of like hit the wall. You may move a point from criminal into bear. Ursa, as the other guy like stands up and starts leaning over the counter to start like to look at him and be like, "What the fuck?" You just immediately just like blindside him and just grab his neck and just like pull out half of it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was about to say, like, before she actually does do the dirty deed, she also attempts to do just like a intimidation, like scaring them first. And just kind of towers over them on both of her hind legs, given that polar bears are like, aren't they technically like one of the biggest mammals or something alongside
So what
Him and the grizzly are the two
don't
biggest
wanna attack?
the
bears.
grizzly? I
See,
do
wait.
want to attack, but I'm just like kind of towering over them first to scare them, so then they kind of like
She wants to taste the fear before they die.
Yeah.
All right, I'll say make a.
2.4 to 3 meters tall.
I'll say make a bear check.
3 meters to feet is almost 10
Nope.
feet. So yeah, that's
So,
something.
like, just before you like rip this guy's throat out, it's not so much fear that he feels. It's just more of confusion of like, why the fuck is there a polar bear in the The other guy turns around and is like, oh shit! And just like pulls out his stun gun and just like aims at you and fires.
Oh,
To be fair, alright, I'm gonna just say if he hits a 3 or lower, this hits you.
okay.
Eh.
Can I do a bear stat to shrug off damage a bit? I mean, after the shock of it,
They
anyways.
missed.
If it hits.
Yeah, so what happens is, okay, so it misses, and it grazes by you. So it grazes by you, and you just go, huh! Oh.
Okay, while he's doing that, I get back off of myself and using my carnage again, I'm just gonna crawl up his back and start ripping into the back of his neck now that he's looking over.
Alright, make
Yeah.
another bear check with advantage as this guy is now going, as this guy is like going, huh! Huh!
Shit! Come on! Ah, damn it!
You again just try climbing up his back, and he just like grabs you by the tail and just throws you on the ground. Move another point into bear as you like take the hit. He will
Tell
then.
me when I arrive back and hear this problem going on.
Oh, don't worry, I'm getting there. You also then see him then go for like a little vial of something, aims it towards the polar bear as it's clearly the bigger issue at the moment, and just starts spraying this red hot mist towards you. I'm gonna say it just hits, and you just have to move a point from criminal into bear.
Okay.
As you are now, and you now have disadvantage on your next muscle, so it'll just be a regular muscle check if you want to hit him, just because now you can't see and your eyes are watery and it hurts so fucking bad.
Yeah, she's pissed and just, how dare you hurt a lady with such vile things? And she's just gonna, with her watery eyes, she's gonna try to use her scent, but again, it was like pepper spray, I'm assuming. And given he's just kind of point blank in that she's just gonna get on all fours and just run right at him to just kind of go for a maul.
All right, make a criminal check, just normal, since you would be at disadvantage otherwise.
Would it be bear since it's chasing and mauling?
Considering that you're the muscle, you can switch to bear, but at that point you're at disadvantage because you are now like you don't have anything to rely on.
Just
at that point
go for criminal, Zaku.
Oh man, I'm at 5 criminal.
4.
No, you moved-
switched one to bear.
You moved one to bear because you got hit with the pepper spray.
Oh, because I don't see it on my thing. So
Yeah.
okay,
No, yes, it is now. I forgot to save. That's all. There you go.
that's fine. Okay, so the criminal was.
Just roll a
one-
d6.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No.
This is a shit show!
This guy is a
This
fucking
guy.
champ. As you guys like just keep going at him, and as you come at him, he's able to just like pull out his nightstick and just whack right across the face. You move another point into from criminal into bear as this guy like feels like a champ at the moment as his friend is just like dead on the floor. At this point, Wilbur, you walk into this scene, seeing this whole mess. You can also see the guy just like start to go for his walkie-talkie.
Okay. Wilbur's gonna quickly yell out over. It's just like, don't worry, I already called for help.
He's got the hat on too. So.
Make a face check. So make a criminal check with advantage.
Holy! I'm not allowed to fail.
Yeah, that's a success. You got 4 in criminal. That's a success.
Oh yeah, shit. You're right.
All right, so you move from 1 point from bear to criminal. The guy stops going for his walkie-talkie and he's like, "Well, get your ass over here and help me!"
And all of a sudden, in that way, I mean, of course, it's gonna sound like a, "Ooh," but like, he's just gonna be like, "Gladly," and he's gonna go ahead and take out the taser Since I'm assuming he's kind of like across from the room, and he's gonna shoot it at him.
That was your turn to convince him not to.
Okay,
use the
yeah.
walkie-talkie. I will say I will say, Heath, it is your turn now.
Okay, now that he's no longer, he's got me by the tail still, or?
No, he threw you onto the ground, like onto your back.
Now that I'm back on the ground, fuck it, I'm leaping up and I'm just gonna go for his crotch. Ah!
Make another carnage check for me, buddy.
The dick biting continues. I see. Heath.
That's a success, because I've got 4 and a 1 is like, ah!
Move another point from criminal to bear for me, but you, you go and just bite into his crotch, and it just goes like,
Are honey badgers carnivore? Oh, they're omnivorous.
Yeah, they eat everything, man.
As he just keels over in pain, like not dead at this point, but definitely wanting to be.
I can't help it. As I do that, you just hear a poof, poof, as 2 marbles come out of his mouth. Oh, well, that's what you get for messing with the king, baby. Oh.
That's what he gets for messing with me. And can she go to mall?
Go ahead. Are you using your criminals? Are you doing a muscle or are you doing a maul?
Nah, she's fucking bear. She's pissed off. So many times.
Roll for bear.
Rolling for bear. It's 2.
So
that it?
4 and 1. So
since you're mauling,
That's a failure. Yeah.
Yeah, since you're mauling. So you go to maul and just to put this guy out of his misery, but you just can't. You actually get him in the back, and he just goes, "Oh, why? Why is the world pain? What did I do to deserve this?"
She just kind of. These humans, they are too chewy.
Make sure to clean off your damn fur.
And
grease.
The guy's just moaning in pain at this point. Just still not dead, just hurt.
Make sure to clean off your fur later. And grease.
Oh yeah. What is a panda daddy?
Your mama done told you this, and he goes ahead and walks on over, picks up the testes and pops them in his mouth. Never waste food. Never.
The guy just looks up as his testicles are being eaten, and you can just see a tear form. You lied.
All right, somebody step on his head or something.
Well, I don't really have to wait for that there, panda daddy, but you look like...
You can just see him just slowly starting to crawl away.
Want me to do the honors, or can you, Miss Ursa?
You go have a go at that, Tim. I've had enough.
Alrighty.
Roll for bear.
Oh God, he's got a. This is gonna
Just
be.
kind of
fair.
like walks all over towards him, and it's just like, in the terrible bear voice that I do, "Good night."
You lied.
I got the one.
So, without any hesitation or miscalculation, you very quickly just put your weight on, flip him over onto his back and just start putting your weight onto his throat as he just goes and just starts reaching for your face and just goes as he just leans over and dies.
He mistakes the finger for a baby carrot and takes one off.
You monster! Switch a point from criminal to
I'm not
bear.
I'm a bear, man.
How often do we get to just let the inner beast out, man?
Fair. I didn't think this would get this dark.
Have you met this group?
I have.
I realized that this game is a perfect way to have a no bars held but still hilarious evil campaign.
Yeah, no. We're criminal. We are literally criminal bears. Okay.
I expected more from you. That's all.
You should have been expecting less.
So with that all behind you, two guys just horribly mauled and bloodied on the floor, some of them in pieces that are no longer in the open air. What are you guys doing? You see another set of stairs going up behind the counter.
Might want to put them somewhere in case
Oh,
somebody
well,
finds them.
I got an idea. Why don't we shove them underneath the counter?
Yeah, that works. Just gotta wait.
We're just like, we Tetris piece and put it in under the counter.
It's just a twister game.
Yeah, it's like twisted man. Just shove them under the counter. Shut her under like where the legs go. Just.
You do, and it takes you a minute to drag them under there, but I'll say it gets done. The room still looks like a murder scene, but the bodies aren't in immediate sight, though anyone looking for them will probably find them within a minute.
You know what? Is there like a blanket or something? Out of curiosity, like a sheet or a cover?
Not in the lobby that you can see.
Okay, though I'm just gonna move. There was a wheelie chair though, right?
I'll say yeah. They probably have a handicap chair.
Okay, so it's gonna shift the wheelie chair in front of the bodies to kind of slightly obscure. They go, oh, perfect, baby. Oh, they'll never see a thing.
To both of you, it still looks pretty damn obvious where the bodies are.
Well,
Agreed.
perhaps we should lick up the blood. I'm just gonna start licking the blood up.
With your little honey badger tongue, that's gonna take a while, but
No, I don't see what we can.
you do realize you guys only have an hour. You've probably spent about 20 minutes already.
Oh, okay, I miscount. Okay, that's true. Okay, well, I guess we should just get on moving. I mean, there's been murder, but if there's more of them, we just take them out. All slick
I
like.
suppose. Hey, Grace, just saying, but you have a smaller, less threatening appearance despite how fucking long your claws are. Maybe you should try to abuse that whole cutesy look.
Well, the fact of the matter is, my mama always told me to always go crazy when you get backed in the corner.
Oh no, that's
Raised in
true.
the
I'm just
ghettos.
saying. Might get them to drop the guard just a little bit. But anyway, let's move
Well,
on.
I guess I could try next time.
Yeah.
Meow. Mom,
And now, wait.
meow.
Did we find any keys or...
Let's see here. Ursa is going to look over by the front desk and, just ignore the pile of bodies underneath it, see if there's anything of interest. Looking through the drawers, sniffing around.
Make a criminal check as you start taking a look around the place.
2.
All right, so as you're able to just as you're able to, God, the things that happen in Honey Heist. This isn't even the worst thing that's ever happened in a Honey Heist for me, by the way.
Hey, again? What do you mean?
God damn.
Stares at Darcy hard.
Listen,
Oh.
this is not the worst thing that happened in a Honey Heist, all right? There's been plenty worse. So as you guys continue on your, we'll say, journey, as you're looking through the drawers, you do come across the locked one, but you being as strong as you are, I will say you bust it open. So do move a point from criminal to bear for your search, but you do bust it open, and you do see what looks to be a key that was actually in a little compartment that was kind of like taped onto the top of the bottom of the drawer.
I see one over here. I don't know if there are any others.
Well, we'll need the second key. I'm assuming they're further up. Oh, probably don't keep them together.
Well then, we don't have a lot of time. Let us go.
Indeed. While we're going up, though, I just would like to talk about that time we were all together back in the cab ride, where we were discussing how to do the track, as I do a flashback, because I am that one criminal. It's like, so, here's the plan. We're gonna get in there, murder all the motherfuckers in the place while I do all the hickety hack stuff and open up that vault. We'll get in there and get the honey out. Don't forget, in and out, like ninjas. Leave no trace.
Is that where you got your name, Chris Lightning?
Oh, exactly. I'll slide in and out places like grease, mama. Maybe I'll show you sometime. Comb the hair.
Calm down with... I do agree we should try to keep it on the lower profile. I can't guarantee that we can get a little messy. We are our kind, after all. Well, I'm just saying. Let's
Well,
be on our best behavior, right?
yeah. Minimal casualties.
You mean it, man?
Just wipe out the place clean.
But, just to be clear, leave no witnesses behind so shit goes south.
Noted.
And bloop, bloop. Can I get a criminal back?
Yeah, for that, sure, you may have a criminal back. How far south the plan has gone.
I
Is
think
this on
everything's
Liverpool
going
floor?
swimmingly.
Well,
I didn't
the new
realize
plan
I was
is
making the evil campaign.
the new plan is nobody left alive, no witnesses.
Technically speaking, we're all true neutral because we're just animals, man.
No.
Animals, man.
We're just
No,
animals.
that's not. You are not. You are a very intelligent being.
I mean,
There is no
the
ID
game is
here.
called Heist.
Morality was
Honey
made by
Heist,
humans.
man. It's just it is.
Morality was-
I know. I'm just saying. Anyway, you guys continue.
Yeah.
Stop forcing your opposable thumbs beliefs on us.
Yeah. Survival of the fittest, mama. Survival of the fittest, mama.
You make your way upstairs.
You can hear the disappointment.
You make your way upstairs and you see what looks to be cubicles and little offices lined against the walls. You do see what looks to be 3 guards making their patrols. They haven't noticed you as you guys get to the top of the stairs, but you do notice that these 3, unlike the 2 downstairs, unlike one of the guys downstairs, is actually very attentive in their job, and they're actually like in a very organized sequence, doing rounds. And you do see a set of stairs on the other end of the hall. I will also say that Wilbur, you're very keen to things that look like bamboo, and you do see that one of the guards seems to, while taking their duty seriously, seems to be eating a stalk of something green.
Describe the scene one more time. I want to make sure that I'm visualizing everything properly.
So, the room you're in right now, the floor is just basically cubicles with a few offices lined up against the wall. You see 3 guards patrolling in very organized fashion, while one of them seems to be. Well, you see the stairs on the other end of the hall, this floor leading up to the next floor, and you also see what looks to be one of the guards eating something that has a green stalk to it. Maybe bamboo? Who knows?
Alright, now, here's the of course. As far as it goes, we're kind of all bears. We're not exactly the most sneaky of folk, right? But, here's the way that I think we can do this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and maybe join in.
Because I'm assuming that the area, is it decently well lit, or what's happening?
It's semi-lit. It's mostly the flashlight light that's giving light to this room, but it is kind of bouncing around a little bit to give a sort of, so you can sort of see what's going on here a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I just thought of something terrible.
Oh no.
Tis the season, apparently.
Evil campaign, evil campaign.
By any means, when I was talking to that previous woman, did she mention that they were having break or anytime soon, by chance?
I will say no. She was mostly talking about her vacation.
Okay. Just purveying off of what I see, do any of them look tired? That being said.
I mean, they're working the graveyard shift, so they're probably all just a little. They probably all have a hint of tiredness to them. One guy though, just very stone-faced, very professional looking, does not seem to give a shit what time of day it is.
Is that the guy who's also holding the snacks?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right. All right, so Wilbur's gonna just kind of make his way back there, kind of like with his bear saunter, and he kind of enters the room with like the lesser light also standing next to by like some taller objects and whatnot to make himself seem less imposing by comparison, and he's just gonna be like. One second. I will say before this, if allowed, I would like to have it where Wilbur can explain his plan to the others before kind of going on his own. I kind of realize that's out of character for him.
That's your decision if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Well, real quickly, Wilbur was just kind of like turn to the others and it's just like, all right, so I got kind of an idea when it comes to getting all of them down and out, maybe. The only problem though is that we kind of made a bit of a mess in the past. So what I'm thinking is I could go ahead and send them down, and when they pass you, I think that's when you might all want to jump them. Do you think you're all capable of such?
I think we got this, baby daddy.
All of them down at once. Sure.
Maybe not.
Well, you
There
got
were
one of
3
them
or
there.
4.
3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, you got that there taser gun with you, don't you there, Panda Daddy?
That is true.
Well,
But
perhaps you send 2 of them down there while we take them out and you zap the other.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Plus, I got some other in mind, but well, you'll see.
Oh, sounds like a plan. We'll take them out and shove them in there with the rest.
Good.
You-
All right.
As long
Yeah,
as I
we'll just
can
kind of. Oh, go ahead.
use by myself for something.
Wait, what did she say?
As long as I can use my muscle for something.
All right, got it. But yeah, he kind of like moseys on over, saunters and whatnot, and kind of gives a bit of a more noticeable but more human heavy kind of like sigh as he kind of enters the area instead of a roar like he normally could, and he's just like, "Break started."
Make a face check, and I will say make this normally.
You're mean. Okay, fine.
Oh!
Damn. All right.
Ooh.
So move a point from bear into criminal.
Ooh, somebody's got to get some
Uh,
honey.
You got me, Heath.
I got you.
Alrighty.
So as you do, so as you say that, 2 of the guys, the 2 who aren't eating anything, just go, "Oh, fucking finally," and just like start making their way towards the stairwell. While the other guy's just like, "I don't go on breaks. You should know that." As he starts kind of in the dark, is about to start shining his flashlight on you.
Kind of like raises a particularly hairy arm in front of the light and is just like,
Come on, man. I'm just letting the others know.
Well, as his flashlight shines on you and he gets a good look at you, he looks at you. He's like,
"Look at my hat, man."
"You know what? I will say make another face check."
Oh wait, oh no, but I don't want to succeed.
Make a face check.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
You should
Oh
eat that honey, man. You should just down your honey first. La!
no. Yeah, can he do that?
You know what? I will, for the sake of the game and to be fun, I will say yes.
Yeah, like maybe no. I like that's the way I kind of see it. It's like maybe before he kind of said that, he kind of like walked in with his jar of honey, kind of like drinking it like a Coke.
Sure. You know what? You can have your honey. Make your.
Oh yeah, thank God.
God, another perfect one.
He looks at you. He's like, well, he's like, I fucking hate the rookies. As he just goes snap as he like bites into something. You hear it has a very noticeable crunch to it.
His ear twitches at the sweet timber, the resonance the crunch has inside of this room, this very well padded room and everything, and he's just like.
So as the other two start making their way to the stairwell, where are you guys planning on jumping them?
So I'll be I'll be on the left side of the staircase. I'm assuming Brichette will be on the right side. And as soon as they come down, Brichette, as soon as they walk past, the second one walks past, I will like leap out on the back of the back one and just start. Actually, no, wait. I will stay under the desk, and when they walk out, I will leap up onto his throat from the desk as soon as the first guy comes down. When the second one comes down, Bruschetta can do what she wants to the second guy.
Yeah, Bruschetta is actually going to be like they're going to sort of I guess flank. You know, like Bruschetta's going to be like kind of towards the middle bottom of the stairs, where if one tries to escape down that staircase, she's going to be there. Either way, we got one in the front, or one in the front, one in the back.
All right. I will say as they make their way downstairs, and you hear the following conversation of, "So the wedding's next week, man? Yeah." It's like, "Yeah, man, I'm luckiest guy in the world, aren't I?" He's like, "Yeah, Julie, she's amazing, isn't she?" And she's like, "Yeah, man." Like, oh God, do I love her? And as they're walking down, you two can make your respective rolls. Ursula, you
Carnage.
have.
Yeah, we both got advantage because one's Carnage and the other one's the criminal.
So,
why can't you give us some people that are like, "Oh man, I just got done stealing from a children's hospital." Like, could you just like do that? Come on, man.
Because
Yeah,
then there's no moral dilemma.
Fine.
Fuck moral dilemmas. I am a honey badger. I don't give a shit. I don't know what the fuck marriage is.
That's the most honey badger thing you could have possibly said.
Make your rolls.
Is this criminal?
Yeah.
Oh, another one! Right on his throat, vampire style.
Christ. So
Sick.
No,
that's
Zaku, you gotta get advantage because you're criminal.
yeah. No, this is your criminal thing.
Oh, okay. Wait, so what do I
Roll another d6.
Roll another
the
d6.
second one? Yeah.
I hate this.
Oh, no!
Dear.
So as this happens, Grease, you just like as they start rounding the corner and like, wait, what the fuck? As they just look at the blood puddles in the room, you just jump out and just go and just like very like almost anime-esque, just jump out and just like slash at the guy's throat very clean, efficiently, and the guy just like not a word, just you just see a as the blood just comes out and he just falls to the ground. You, Urza, on the other hand, you go for like a good like not right hook, but you like try to clothesline the guy, but instead kind of like giving him like a big hug.
She's
He goes,
distracted
"Thanks."
by the awesomeness that is Grease Lightning.
He's
Whoa,
like,
mama.
Thank you. Wait, what? And then he just takes his taser out and just point blank. Yeah, no, you just go. Move a
You
point
leave
for
that pretty
criminal to
mama
bear.
alone.
You move a point to criminal bear, and I will say, Grease, you go first as you just stop. You just stop for a second from going. I am so awesome.
Oh yeah, mama. No, just do like the whole like the Elvis pose with the whoosh, you know, the one arm up, the one arm back thing. Like whoa.
Sure.
God, I love.
He makes me so mad.
I know. I do this. When I land, this is what I do. I was like, oh.
All I know is rage and anger.
But otherwise, when I see that, it's like, you leave that pretty mama alone, and I'll go, leap up and go for the back of the neck bite.
All right. You did move a point from criminal into bear earlier, yeah?
Yeah. So no, you mean my attack caused that? I thought okay. I didn't know that was the
Yeah, no, like you cutting the guy's throat open wasn't a carnage thing, so it is a bear skill.
Yeah, I will. I thought. Yeah, you said you may or may not do that depending on the bear skill. So I hadn't moved till you said.
Yeah. Now for that, I will definitely say you You bared him pretty good.
Okay, in that case, I will try a criminal act instead.
Alright.
And I will run up his arm, and I will fuck with the taser and zap him with his own taser using my hacking skills.
Oh my god.
You're stretching the premise of hacking here a little bit, but I will.
I mean, all I have to do is messing with some chords, man.
I will let you. I will let you make the. I will let you make the criminal attempt. As you are.
Oh, I got it!
Are you able to just mess with the system as the GM for this thing?
No, man.
Probably.
Just a lucky night.
Well, you're a GM too, so if I had fudged a roll, you would see it as a fudged roll as a fellow GM.
I didn't even know you could do that as a GM.
Yeah, there are fudged rolls.
Huh.
I
Anyway.
never use it, but it's something you can do. But it will say fudged, and GMs can see that.
Yeah.
All right then. So you, as this, as your teammate is giving this guy sort of an electrified hug, as she's just going you just as this guy like has this look of shock, fear, and just horror on his face. You just climb up with your claws onto his back, and then just like sort of just stick your claws like directly into his eyes, piercing into his brain, and the guy just goes and just slumps forward onto the now like tasered bear and getting his brain juices all over your fur.
I am proud of how feral he has become.
I know, he's fucking amazing.
He just crawls back down and starts like I'm assuming our bruschetta's like on the ground, like this is like after the taser, just gonna smack her in the face. You're like, come on, pretty mama, time to get up. We gotta get the move on there, mama.
Ursa, you just go as your muscles finally relax.
Yeah, she finally.
And you have blood all over you, by the way. Just
Oh my god.
all over you.
Yeah, once she finally comes to, she sees this human on her and just goes, disgusting! And she just kind of flings it off. She looks at her fur. Oh, disgusting! Why must all of this happen to me? Oh, I went to the lake earlier and I had my nails done and I have to go again.
Well, don't worry there, pretty mama. I'm sure we can all take a shower after this is all done. And you know what? We can bathe in honey.
You had something perfect that you could have said to her, and I'm mad that.
Oh, I'm curious, which one did I miss?
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna say it when I get to see it.
So,
A bloodbath.
You'll see.
as this happens, Wilbur, you're just up there, and the guy has gone back onto his patrol, turning his back to you, and it's just like, where are the others? They should be here to replace these chumps.
Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah. So, what's that snack you have there?
I will say, since you've already rolled for the face, he'll just go, yeah, no, it's celery. He just goes, celery.
Close enough.
And he's just gonna like, not carnage, obviously, because it's not the same thing. But he's gonna attack the guy.
All right, roll for bear.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Nope. So you go to attack the guy, and just like as you go to sweep at him, the guy goes, "Whoa!" and just like jumps back. He's like, "Oh shit! You ain't one of my guys. You're a panda bear. The fuck?" And he just pulls out a taser and just fires at you.
Oh no!
I'll say if he gets a 3 or lower, he hits. Nope. He just wide glances. It actually doesn't even go off. It jams. He's like, useless piece of shit.
And like, with like, just like after kind of like after he misses, he's just like,
Give me.
How the fuck are you talking?
he's gonna yell back at the others like, "Get over here!"
You guys hear a ruckus coming upstairs.
Oh no! What did you freaking do?
God.
Yeah, yeah.
This has been a fun
yeah.
night.
So get the
what are
beam
you
off, dude. I like it.
what are you doing there, Wilbur?
Attempting carnage again.
All right, so make another bear check as you were trying to maul the guy.
All right.
Oh, did he get a point? Oh, yeah,
Nah.
he missed actually. So yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you missed.
Damn it!
He goes swipe again, and he just like again backs up, and he drops the celery and pulls out a nightstick and is gonna try to whack you with it. Same rules. Yeah, no, this time. You actually feel a little bit of blood soaking up that gray fur of yours.
After you drop
Move a
this-
point from criminal into bear for me.
All right.
I gotta point out the funny fact though that honey badger pick and the Elvis pick actually are surprisingly similar to each other when you look at them.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I love this game.
So
Honey Heist is fun. This is why.
he gets shocked. All right. Oh man.
I will say you two hear this and start making your way upstairs.
Okay. Oh, sounds like the Panda Boy is in trouble there, Miss Bruschetta. We better get a little mosey on.
I want this job to be done so I can just clean all of this off and go back. And then she's gonna follow right after and gonna see some. She's gonna see a shocked and hit bear on the. Oh no!
Oh no, you guys spend your turn basically moving up the
Yeah,
stairs.
we're-
Okay.
Judah, what are you up to?
All right. He's just gonna like, because I'm assuming it's one of those like things that kind of like have the cord, and he kind of like rips it out of him, and he's just like, "You have any idea how that feels? Here, try it!" And he's gonna take out his own taser and tase the guy.
All right, I'll say roll for criminal as you are using a human tool.
All right. Damn it!
That succeeds.
Yeah, that
Oh,
succeeds.
we did.
You're good.
I forget it's lower.
So you pull out the taser and you hit the guy square in the stomach, and you're gonna see him drop the nightstick, and he just goes as he just falls over.
Okay. Yeah.
Point the criminal again.
Yeah, move a point to criminal. Yeah, no, he just spends his turn just get up there at this point, and you see you can't really see what your comrade is looking at because of the cubicles, but you see that he's definitely looking at something.
Well, what's going on there, Panda Daddy?
Is everything all right?
Ugh. Like you see him like huffing and puffing over what was like, you know, a fresh corpse in this regard, and he kind of stands up and turns around, and you see three sticks of celery in his mouth.
Well, that looks like a healthy snack there. You know, I actually wonder. Quick look. Do I see a vending machine somewhere?
Not on this floor. You probably saw one in the lobby though.
Okay.
I will say though, as you guys are having this conversation, you see suddenly the guy stand up and make another strike at the panda bear as he was only tased for a round and not dead.
Yeah, Wilbur has priorities: the mission and green thing. I'll tell you which takes priority later.
You know, I'm gonna give him advantage given the circumstances of you guys were not paying attention to him at all.
Rude.
Doesn't matter either way. But he gets up, grabs his nightstick, and tries to take a whack at you, and you just kind of are able to catch him out of the corner of your eye and just duck out of the way.
Miss Bruschetta, take him out.
I don't share, and he's gonna attack him.
Make another bear attack.
Do I get advantage since he's on the floor?
No, he stood up to strike you.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, fine.
I want prone advantage. Nope.
You go to strike him again. At this point, you're just getting frustrated with the whole affair. I'm going to say since you've missed 3 times, I'm allowing you to put a point into bear.
All right, cool.
But no,
Yeah.
you miss, and just this is a tough son of a bitch. He does not. He refuses to go quietly into that good night.
Bruschetta will hear the frustration and all the commotion going on, and she just kind of gives a little crack to her neck, and she says, "I always hate the troublemakers." And she goes over, full speed. She's fucking covered in blood. She's on all fours. She goes, she goes for like a little roar, and will attempt to maul a man's head.
All right, I will say, given the awkward spacing of this room, it will take you the turn to get there.
Okay. So, yep, just getting there.
Well, I would have assumed in that like previous stretch they had approached him by that time, because there was like a little bit of a leeway where he turned around and had the celery.
This is also like a smaller cubicle, isn't it? Or how big is this place?
No, this is the entire floor. Like this guy's near the other end of the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, this floor is again just a big open space, except with all the cubicles in between. So you're just having to.
In my case, then I guess. Let's get him, and I'll charge forward as well, assuming it takes my turn.
Yeah, it takes your turn. And you guys get up to him. So the guy, now seeing that he's up against 3 savage animals here, assuming all of his friends have been murdered horribly, he then takes out the pepper spray and then goes for the biggest one, which is you, Zaku.
God damn it!
And you just again feel another sensation of just burning as your eyes just get watery and you just feel this horrible smell. It's burning and it's horrible and it's staining your fur a little bit orange on your snout. Like, it's awful. This has not been a good heist for Ursa.
It is not.
But he's backing up, and he's like, he does not know what to do at this point because and you can see him like start to go for his walking.
Can since Ursa was charging and she suddenly gets hit with this, could I say that like she at least body slams him, given that she just kind of closed her eyes mid-run?
Make a muscle check.
Alrighty here. Wait, muscle is criminal, right?
Criminal, yeah. So roll for criminal with advantage.
Okay.
Has she moved one the bear to criminal, or is she still 3-3?
Yeah, no, move. You're right. Move one from bear to criminal to bear, as you were taking damage and it hurts a fucking lot.
Oh, okay.
One more.
So yeah, you're able to just sort of like shoulder charge him into the wall, and he actually hits his head and is just knocked out cold.
Better finish the job, Mama.
You have enough on my fare. I have enough.
Yeah, we better finish the job, Mama. We don't want any witnesses here. Tell her there was a bunch of wild animals in place when we're done, eh?
In my opinion, you look good in red.
Oh, do I?
I'd say so.
Mood has immediately flipped 180.
Well, it's too bad that I cannot see. And she's just kind of like feeling out of the guard, looking for his head. What is it? I'm already gonna jump this thing off.
What is she looking for right now?
She's
Yeah,
looking
what are you-
for the guard's head.
Just gonna bite the
say-
head off.
I'll say you're able to find it after a minute and your eyes have cleared up.
Can
And you
she?
just hear the guy going,
She's gonna go to bite.
I just wanted to pay for my college tuition.
Why are you doing this to us?
Just look
Every
at the honey
character
badger. Look at the honey badger pic. That is for all of us. The honey badger don't care. Honey badger don't care. We just don't care.
I'll say roll for bear.
Rolling for bear. Deet, 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 deet.
Oh, that'll do it.
You're just able to just just
Shut up!
bite into this guy's throat, and you hear a meaty crunch as he like suddenly jars awake. He's like, "No, my family.
Still don't care. Okay, while they're doing that, I guess I will have Grease turn and goes, okay, you all look for the key. I'm going to go downstairs and go see if we can find something that might help. I mean,
You
Mr.
died.
Oh.
You cut out at the beginning of your.
Okay, guys, you guys go take care of this. Yeah, go look for that key. I'm going to head downstairs. Looks like Mr. Wilbur could use a bit of help. And I'm going to run down the stairs of that snack machine that I saw in the lobby.
Sure.
For the keys.
All right. We'll say you go down to the snack machine. What do you see a various array of
Do
snacks?
I see honey snacks of any sorts?
I will say you do find honey buns.
I will use my hacking skills, because this should be a legit thing, to go in there and mess with the wires to get most honey buns.
Make a hacking check for me.
Okay. Ooh, nope. Oh, wait, 2! Yeah, 2 hits! Yeah!
Yeah. So move 1 point from Baron to criminal,
Whew.
and I will say you are successfully able to kind of weasel your way into the paneling and mess around with some wires, and you just see a bunch of the things just start to unravel and just drop snacks into the bottom, including 4 honey buns.
So
I will
those-
say 2. I will say 2 of them will equal a actual honey snack.
So I got 2 honeys. Okay, so I grab the 2 honey snacks and I head back up top and see, and while they look for the keys.
All right, so you two, what are you doing? As you find one of your comrades has just run off, saying he's going to go downstairs to get something to help.
Ursa will just kind of, not really dust herself off, but, just kind of prim and proper, make sure that her fur is nice and even again, brushing it off. And
It is kind of sticky with blood and pepper spray, but otherwise fine.
with all of her leftover dignity, she is going to fix herself up. And then just kind of, well, that was over with, and but I must say, you are right. Red is my color. After all, it is the color of the year for bears. And she brings her chin up, and then she starts marching around the cubicles. Is there any office doors in here?
Yeah, there's a few
Like, this
offices
looks
on the
fancy?
side. Yeah, like on the sides. You do know there is another stairwell leading up on the other side of the of this offices.
Okay. She'll look to Wilbur and say, well, which do you prefer? Would you like to check the stairwell that is over there, or shall we look in here?
Now, wait a minute. You see, I know that. I just so happen to know that humans have a lot of things when it comes to getting rid of unnecessary kind of waves a bare hand, a bare paw at her furs, like unwanted dyes and colors and whatnot. Let me see. And he'll go ahead and walk over to that one guard and rip the shirt straight off of his chest.
It does have a bunch of blood on it, but go ahead.
Well, that means it's halfway. That's fine. If not, like the jacket or anywhere else that doesn't have particular much blood on. But yeah,
You guys butchered this man, but go on.
His
But yeah,
head was
no,
literally
nope.
exploded.
fine. He'll grab his
Stomped on,
pants or something.
exploded. Sorry, keep going.
Slightly better.
Okay, yeah. Okay, he'll grab his pants off, just rip them off, and then
This is
kind
gonna
of
be
walk
one
on
hell of
over.
a crime scene to walk into for the cops tomorrow.
Oh yeah. And he'll kind of like walk on over and hand the discarded cloth, forcefully discarded cloth, to Bruschetta.
There you go, ma'am.
Well, thank you. The gentleman is here. I'm so glad. And we'll take the cloth and then just kind of stare at it. And what exactly am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, right. You're supposed to rub your snout and head and whatnot.
In a fashion, or am I doing something? Oh, cleaning. Yes.
Hold on. Let me just. And he'll go ahead and just like grab the cloth himself and like kind of wipe around, like getting her like the top of her nose and like the areas behind the ears and whatnot.
I will say it is by this time that Grease, you walk back into the offices.
Oh, wow. Did I miss some sort of party going on here? Oh, is it really the time for this? We got a job to do.
It
Oh, I
is
know.
not.
It's just the more that she gets seen like this, it's going to be extremely incriminating. Not
Oh.
even our disguises will hold up.
Oh. I got an idea. Give me a minute. By the way, Miss Wilbur, and I'm gonna hand you I'm gonna hand you a honey. We're 2 of the buns. This is for you. You look like you could use something to take off the edge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I will also
So-
hand you too, Miss Bruschetta. And I'll hand you the other 2 honey buns.
Oh, merci.
It might help with the edges. Anyways, you want to take care of that? I got just a thing, and I take out my comb. Just let Grease Lightning get to the work, and I'm just gonna like freaking like salon style run up around her, like salon style, then make it look like it's a dye job, right? Like spread the blood out so it's like a dye job all around her.
Just a red bear, guys. Just a red bear.
Make
Nothing unnatural about this.
Make a criminal check. As this is not normal bear behavior.
I think grooming is a perfect bear behavior.
Oh, I got it!
This extent.
I got it!
I hate it.
So, move a point from bear to criminal as you are now learning that if this really goes sideways and you need to like open up a little shop in Mexico, you have an option.
Oh, my mom always told me grooming is the most important thing about a bear's life.
So you actually spend probably the next 10 minutes to where you guys now probably have maybe, I'll say at this point, half an hour to get the job done.
No, we're professionals. We're fine.
But you spend about 10 minutes just combing this polar bear's fur, and it actually does look kind of better. Like, you kind of part, like, some of the longer hair on the top, kind of, like, to one side a bit, kind of give it more of that, like, retro punk look to it.
Oh my god.
So, what do you think there, Miss Bruschetta? One of my finer masterpieces, and if I do say, though having a beautiful Kansas like you, always helpful.
Can I get it? Zaku, can I request that this gets doodled at some point?
Sparkly bear.
Sparkly.
I like to imagine the before and after pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just-
yes.
I just want to have it like my pompadour hair badger giving you a comb over. It's like, so, I heard monsters are the most interesting people, like Bugs Bunny with the hair monster.
Anyway.
JoJo steak hair, but oh my god, yes. And Ursa will take a look at herself, feel out her fur, and she just kind of, with a little blush for both of them, just kind of fixes her face fur up a bit. Just well, even in the polar south, this is actually quite fashion forward. So I must say, it is a good job.
I appreciate the
No.
compliment, Mama. Anyways, let's get this done. We gotta find that key.
So,
Wait, what were we saying, Judah?
Oh no, he was just saying let's finish work fashionably as well. Let's move.
Oh, yeah.
so, what are you guys up to now?
Well,
Searching
so
for keys.
we gotta look for the key. So we'll search the bodies for. We'll search the area where we found the bodies. You said there was an office on this floor, right?
There are a couple
offices.
offices like on the lining the walls.
There, Mr. Wilbur. You can read that human stuff, can't you?
Yeah, sorta.
Do you see anything that says something around like manager's office or something along those lines?
Let's see. Kind of looks back and forth. Do I see anything that looks like of particular importance?
Not particularly. You see something that says legal and finances.
Yes.
I think- But you do see,
You know what?
see a sign near the stairwell that says Mr. Hunterton's office.
You know, that area right over there has a big old word of it, so in the back. So I think that might be an area worth checking out.
Can I just ask, did you mutter each word out when you were reading the signs? Tell me you read out loud.
He was just like,
When you says finances, he goes, you know what? That's one of them places where them humans
Damn.
take poops, I think. You know, they got the finances.
the Nancy's, yeah.
You know, they got the
something
they unload the feces.
Legal? Is that like a bird or something? I don't remember eating.
No, yeah, that's like one of them there, Asian birds. I think you might know that they're legals.
Nah,
I
I
think-
know
what-
Asian birds.
You know, I knew a
Asian.
Stephen Legal once.
What the fuck is a
Yeah,
Stephen?
there are 3 rooms that are interesting, and there are 3 of us. So why don't we each get a room?
Yeah, time for this Dr. Wellington, something like that.
You know, I bet you that's the right office. Yeah, the important humans like to put their names on things.
Yeah, and they put the D and the R just to make themselves look important. I can't stand these conceited ass humans.
Oh, I know.
But yeah,
Well,
we're gonna check
Well,
the
complicated.
Yeah.
Let's just.
We'll search the office to see if we can find the second key.
Alright, so which office are you searching? Legal, finances, or are you heading up to the 3rd floor?
We're going to the Dr.
Third
Hunt.
floor. Yeah,
something?
the 3rd floor, the
Oh.
one where we found the person's name.
Alright, so Hunterton's.
Hunterton's office. Yep, that seems like
Yes,
the most.
Mr.
like-
Hunterton's.
Yeah, Mr. Hunterton, because important people like to put their names on
Important
things.
Mhm.
Alright, so you walk up to the 3rd floor, and immediately you notice that it's actually dark in here, and there's no one seems to be on the 3rd floor, as it is actually just one long hallway to an office, and when you get to that office, you see it is a very large office. There's sofas on the side with a potted plant pushed to one corner, which immediately you do notice is actually bamboo. You also see what looks to be a fine mahogany desk with a bookshelf behind it. On the
Mahogany.
desk, you see what looks to be a sort of lamp with the plaque that reads Mr. Huntington. On the floor, you see what looks to be a grizzly bear skin rug.
These barbarians.
No,
And-
that's just wrong.
And what looks to be a couple of antlers hung along the walls, and what looks to be a large rifle and double-barreled shotgun also on the wall.
Oh no, I've seen these kinds of people before. They're absolutely disgusting. They go after people like us.
Yo, you know
And
what?
they got-
Out of all those things we did to those humans, if I didn't feel bad now, I feel even better.
I've seen
This is
those
just-
destruction sticks being carried around. Took my damn wife, them people.
Oh, man, mama.
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
feeling. You know what? I think I might just. You guys look for the key. I have an idea that's going to leave quite the friendly surprise for this Mr. Banker person.
You know what? I'm gonna take all their damn bamboo. I was thinking about doing it anyway.
You do, and it is actually really good bamboo.
Ugh,
Uh,
and yet they planted away from its natural forest.
uh,
Fucking monsters.
Miss Bruschetta, would you be so kind as to look for the key?
Yep.
Alright, so you just ignore these things on. She will look around the fancy looking desk here. She's gonna sniff around, and similar to the drawers from the lobby, she's gonna start looking for very suspicious places that keys seem to be in.
Alright, I'll say make a criminal check to look around the place.
Criminal, you see?
Yes.
Ah, dang it.
Nope. As you're just taking a look around, you're like flipping over the couch a bit. You look under the rug. Much to your dismay, nothing seems to be under there. Yeah, the muscles. Listen, you're used to have more of the heavy lifting.
I guess
see nothing over here.
let me take a peek. And I'll also search criminal, I take it.
Criminal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through with
That's
it
a
as well.
success for me because I'm at a criminal 4.
Eh,
Says you're at criminal 3.
Oh, I didn't save. There we are.
Which
Alright.
makes you 5 and 1, I think, now?
Yes, that would make me 5 and 1 now.
Woo!
Alright, so you're poking around the place and you see what looks to be a on the table, on the desk, you see what looks to be a bust of a human, like a little stone head of a human. And as you look over to it, and you're like, oh, I don't want to look at this, and you try pushing it over, you actually see that you actually feel that it's bolted down. And when you try to push it over, the head just tilts back, and you see this big shiny red button.
Well, I like the look of big red buttons. My mom always said, when you see a button, push it. And I pop with my claw.
All right, you push the button, and you see the bookshelf behind you actually just go. Looks like it just moves back a couple of inches and goes.
Oh, mama.
And you see behind the book panel what looks to be a large tank with some fishing rods on the side. And you see what looks to be fish swimming around down there.
Bruschetta's eyes go wide. Oh, he keeps a feast to himself.
Yeah, I'm going to walk up to
anything.
Bruschetta, though, and you're just going to start scratching my body. He's like, Miss Bruschetta, I hate to be rude, but I'm kind of jonesing hard. You mind if I have them honey buns?
She gives him a look for a second, like wondering what jonesing means, but she, from the looks of him, like having the edge. Ah, I see. Jonesing. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
With a fervor, you eat these honey buns. They taste like shit, but enough of them gets the job done.
Oh, man. Nothing like my mama used to make. These things are horrible. It is amazing what these humans will do to ruin honey.
It's amazing what these humans will do to ruin everything. Now, I personally don't agree with keeping fish out from where they should be, but this looks extremely practical.
Miss Bruschetta, you said it's a large tank. Like, we talking huge? We talking like...
Oh yeah, like this thing holds like probably well over 1,000 gallons.
Okay, do we see...
It's
there...
practical for the building size.
You know what, Miss Bruschetta? I wonder if there's something down there. You polar bears are heck of swimmers. Do you want to just go under there and see if you can find that key?
Inside of the tank or under it?
I'll search under, you search in it.
Don't
You're
get
right.
just whatever you do, don't get lost in the sauce right there. Okay?
There isn't any sauce, it's just my dinner for the night. And
That's exactly what I mean.
she gets in, she hunts a couple fish while also like looking around and looking for anything suspicious. And I'm assuming the blood is starting to just kind of come off of her in waves.
Yeah, a little bit. It's still staining in there pretty good because blood is a bitch to get out. But make a bear check for me with advantage because you can swim as a polar bear.
It's my specialty after all. So
I was wanting to see how that were to come into play. Ooh.
Oh, God, double fives!
Oh, no.
So you just start.
Sorry.
You just finally excited to jump in. You actually jump in with a little too much fervor and actually hit the other end of the pool and just like smack your jaw and you just go, oh. Move a point from criminal to bear for me if you will.
Oh, gosh.
You can still look around the fish tank to try to hunt fish if you want, but yeah.
Oof. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna keep looking. As far as she can see, can't find anything.
Well, I was about to say, make another bear check for me, make another swimming check for me.
Okay.
So, bear, double advantage, so roll your 2d6.
All right, so this time
Oh,
you start more determined, and with a little bit of a pain in your jaw, you just start swimming around for fish, and you do catch some, and they actually taste really good. So, but as you are moving around, do move a point from criminal to bear for me. But as you bite into one, you feel a little something hard, and as you haul it out of your teeth, and you look. And it looks like a key that seems to have been attached to one of these fish.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And she comes out, she shakes herself off, and of course combs it down just a little bit. She says, well, boys, look what we found.
Well, that is mighty
Nah.
impressive there.
You know, this reminds me, and going into
Criminal.
so she goes into flashback, talking about her criminal life. And she says, I remember the first time I got into the life that we are in now. Oh, it was absolutely thrilling. There was this bunch of humans with these black boxes and following around these penguins and such. And I didn't know what they were doing. They would also follow around my cousins. They would be out for hours. And while they were away, I would go into their camp and find all of the frozen fish that they would just throw out into the other penguins. And it was quite the heist.
I'll say yeah. With that flashback, you may move a point from bear into criminal.
Do you like fish sticks?
Ugh, no. So the second key in hand, and probably about another good 20 minutes before your time expires. What are you guys up to?
Well, let's go ahead
we got
and
the
take
key.
this.
I think it's about time for us to head down and crack open that safe.
Let's move on.
How many holes was there?
There was 2, and we got both keys. You said
All
2
right,
keys,
then
right?
let's go.
All right, you guys start making your way down to the sub basement again. You see standing before you the familiar vault, and passing before you get there, you do see the plethora of carnage and horror that some poor cleaning lady is going to find in the morning.
Well, look at the bright side. It's good to keep them employed when they got to clean this
What
place
are
up.
you saying?
we are doing a service to the cleaning community.
He's walking by the carnage like a person walks through a museum full of Jason Pollock paintings. Like he's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Oh no, whatever.
So you guys get to the basement. What do you do?
Okay, so what I need you two to do is take a key each and stick it in that lock and turn at the same time.
Right.
Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And turns.
Turn.
All right, as they turn the keys, you see the lights actually flicker on into this room, and the computer actually boots up. You see what looks to be asking for some sort of passcode.
Okay, Mama, here comes the hacking skills. I'm going to be able to handle this. I am the greatest hacker ever, and I will hack the system, quite literally.
All right, roll for criminal.
Whew.
Here we go.
Oh, got it. And I'll do the second one. Both successes, but I got it with a 3.
All right, so you very quickly are able to kind of figure out how the operating system that this thing uses, and you're able to just kind of rework it a little bit to eventually just let you in without the passcode. And you find an option that allows you to open the vault.
Okay, open vault, baby. Here we go.
All right, as you do, you hear a large.
Oh,
As you
happy
feel-
days.
There it is. And Ursa will do the honors of opening the door.
All right, I'll say make a muscles check for me.
Okie dokie.
So roll 2 criminal for me.
Yeah, criminal advantage.
Swear criminal.
Oof.
Ooh. This is not a night, guys.
It's just not budging. It's still super heavy.
Please, you said you have opened this door. Well, it is not opening.
Wait a second.
What is
Oh. Miss Ursa,
it?
that's a pool door. Try it again.
Make another criminal check with advantage, as you have now realized it is a pull door.
He just kind of huffs and, just kind of brushes off the embarrassment and tries again.
No, Ursa. When we say pull, we don't mean pull to the right. We mean pull towards
I will
yourself.
say
Ursa.
after another 10 minutes, so you all have 10 minutes after this door is open, you eventually figure it out and get this door open. It actually wasn't that heavy. It was just you could not figure out which way to push or pull.
What does push mean?
But eventually,
It has been a while. I have not been around these metal doors. It's
You
just
know what?
as long as we have in.
You know what? Grace is just gonna wander up to Wilbur and say, you know what? It's a good thing she's pretty. Uh-huh.
if you'd like to hear that, Ursa, you may make a bear check.
Yeah, and pretty deadly if you let her hear something like that.
Would you like to make a bear check, Ursa, to see if you hear that?
I don't know.
Yes.
Alright, make a bear check.
Oh, Grace is gonna die.
Oh.
You heard every fucking word. Move a point from bear into criminal into bear for me.
And hearing especially that Wilbur did not agree at all.
She just immediately, her head like snaps to grease and just go, "You want to come that by me again?"
What?
And she lets out her claws with a shing.
Just goes, what? I just said you were pretty, ma'am.
Yeah, hold on. No conflict until the job is over.
And she puts her claws away, goes right in, and she eats one of the honey makes it go back into
You
bear.
bear, if you would
eat
go
it.
full bear, you would go full. It's a good thing I took your. It's a good thing I took your. It's a good thing I took your honey.
Yeah, no, never mind. No, she just
Remember what we had talked about, right? We were gonna go in here with as least like this is basically me initiating a flashback, but kind of for Bruschetta in this case. We were gonna go through. We were going to make it where we have the least amount of bloodshed as possible.
well, we sort of failed the bloodshed part, but we are going to make it out, I suppose. Fine.
I know that's your job, but I'm just saying. As far as it goes, we're trying to get through here clean and nice. That's why they picked us.
All right. Until this job is done, I shall refrain from doing other things. And she just kind of gives Grease one more, like, knife eyes, filthy look, and then lets them go in first.
Alright, so as you enter the vault, you see.
Wait,
What?
that was supposed to essentially be a flashback. But
Oh!
But for her.
yeah.
I will allow it.
Yay!
I will allow it. It wasn't necessarily a flashback, but I will allow it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's not a flashback until you officially say.
So I will allow you to move 1 point over, but as you guys open the door and you walk in, you notice you notice a very large metal room, and in the very back you see just pallets, and I do mean pallets of honey, just golden, delicious honey sitting there.
Oh, mama, we hit the jackpot.
I don't think the
Finally.
jackpot even begins to explain what I'm seeing and feeling.
Well, we have a lot of work to do. How are we going to take all of this out?
That's a damn good question. And he brings out what was it again? Thing that the driver gave him?
Oh, just like a sack of, like a paper sack with what looks to be like some sort of powder and little rocks in it.
Oh man, that's great. a giant fire, a giant 4th of July popper. I love it.
All right. Well, we all probably have to work together to haul it out to wherever.
Is there a garage that we may have passed as we were going through?
Nope, not really. You're surmising you might just have to bring it up into the alleyway by just straight up carrying it.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Best get started.
Take as much as we can.
We have 10 minutes. Let's go, boys.
So as Wilbur and Ursa just start lifting up pallets and carefully bringing them upstairs, while Grease just takes it one jar at a time. You do spend probably the next 10 minutes getting probably a good 3 pallets worth of honey in, and then you're surmising that's probably the most you're going to be able to fit into the van at the moment. You do find probably the better grade stuff while you're there, and I do mean the good shit.
The good shit.
But as you start moving that list out, and you probably have about another minute before your ride gets back, you hear suddenly just someone go, "Hey! Bears!" And you turn around to see what looks to be 3 sheep and a cow.
Oh my fucking god.
And the cow just looks at you, pulls out what looks to be a cigar out of its mouth. We heard that someone was coming to take a bit of a cut from our turf. You went into the ranch's vault, you see. We don't appreciate that around these parts, do we, boys? No! You just hear the sheep go. Now I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to put that right back where you found it, or else you're going to have to deal with us. And let me tell you, you ain't going to want to deal with us, now do you? This is farm territory. As he just takes a big puff of his cigar, blows it the other way. And what do you say? We'll let things go if you just put everything back and apologize.
So while they're saying that, you were gonna say let the face talk. Actually, you were gonna say something. Sorry, Judah.
You grass-munching vegetarians, get the fuck out of our way.
Hey, don't knock it just because you omnivorous boys have some options. You know what? We don't always like grass, do we, boys? No! Sometimes we want to know what the meat tastes like, too. It's nutritious, it's good, but we don't get it. But you know what? Maybe today we'll have some bear, huh? What do you say, boys? It's like, yeah, bear! We like bear!
Okay, but as they do that, you're just gonna go see that Grease kind of takes out some of the good stuff, the honey. He's just gonna take it, dip his claws in, and suck on it a bit, so I can get a bear point.
Yeah, I'll say you can do that as this conversation's going down.
As he looks at her and goes, "Well there, Miss Bruschetta, Wilbur, I think it's about time for the shake, rattle, and roll, and I'm gonna charge the fucking cow!"
Alright, I will say, as you start charging the cow, you have to get through the sheep first.
Okay, well, I'll go after the first sheep then. I'm like, I'll go for who's ever closest.
Alright, Heath, hold on, give me a second before we get this going. I need to find, what was the shit has hit the fan music we picked?
You picked, I got it, you had was Le Grande Chase.
There.
Here I thought I was
bottom.
going to go pescatarian.
So, as this is happening, I will say,
God, this music.
Grace, you are the first to initiate this shit. I'll let you make a carnage check first. No, so as you go after the sheep,
damn it,
you're used to going after them humans with them fleshy legs that are really easy to hit, but these sheep have really thick wool and your claws are getting caught in and you're just like, ah!
Oh, hell!
Alright, I will say it is one of the sheep's next to go and it will try to bite at you. Same rules as normal. If it gets a 3 or lower hits. No, so it goes to bite you, and you're able to just kind of like lift up your legs so it isn't able to reach you.
Nice.
I'll say, just going in order here, Wilbur, you're up next.
And here I thought I was going pescatarian by the end of all this. Damn it!
And he's gonna go ahead and rush forward, just lets a mighty roar just like dig into the fucking sheep.
Alright, make a bear check for me as you're trying to like just hit the sheep.
Alright. Actually, in a similar fashion as to what Grease had did, can I quickly fucking eat that honey bun that I had from before?
Sure, yeah. I'll say I'll take your action to do that.
Alright, yeah, no, that's fine. He'll just kind of like munch on it, and he's just like, he spits like a quarter of it out. He still eats it, but just for the sake of flavor, he's just like, ugh.
Alright, so,
Now I'm pissed.
alright, move a point from criminal into bear. There you go. And then another sheep will go, and it will again attack the little ferocious honey badger that's got his claws stuck in the other guy's wool. So same rules as normal. Yeah, so this time it's able just to kind of like bite into you with its big, dumb, stupid teeth, and you just feel a sharp bit of pain. You move 1 point from criminal into bear.
Oh, mama, you's gonna pay for that.
All right, next up is Ursa. Shit's hit the fan.
Shit's hit the fan. Okay, so she is going to seeing that Wilbur is gonna do his bear thing. She decides to swipe his taser. Is it still there?
Oh, the taser's spent at this point.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Shit took the shotgun.
What
Would've been
items does he still have on him? Ah, shit! Yeah, the shotgun. God
Oh,
damn.
you still got the Billy. You took the Billy Club too, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't know why you
So,
want to use that.
could I say that like she swipes whatever item that he has on him, which is the baton?
I'll say sure.
Yeah. So she takes it, tired of getting blood on her after biting through things and just washing. She says, "Hey, you step away from the small ones. That is for me to tear apart later." And she goes to bat at one of the sheep that's biting at him.
All right, make a muscles check for me. So roll two, take the lower. No, so you go to whack him, but he just like, again, that wool is just, you guys are not used to it. Just. All right. So no, it doesn't work. Next up is the cow. He's like, get him, boys! And he just like, he goes over and he's gonna go and try to like hit Urza. He'll try to hit you with one of his hoofs. And I'm going to say, since he is the we'll just make it regular.
So guys, this is the first time I'm being attacked.
Yeah. So he goes to hit you like one of his hoofs, and he like hits you in the stomach, but you're able to just kind of like flex, and it just does nothing. He just looks up and he's like, "Hey, you a tough gal."
No shit.
It's one of the sheep up next, so the sheep will the sheep will attack Grease just because you're on him now, so he's just gonna try to buck you off of him and hit you. And he does this time. He's able to just kind of like shake you off and like you hit the wall. Move a
you's
point
gonna pay
from
for
criminal
that.
into bear.
Yep.
All right. Next up, it's actually
me,
Grease. Your turn.
Yeah, Grace will go up and shake his head. And goes, "Oh, you're gonna pay for that." And I'm gonna go up, and this thing is gonna crawl like kind of like ravage through the wool and go around the wool and come like dig around the wool and just go right for the heart.
All right, make a carnage check. Don't forget to move your points from criminal to bear, though.
Yeah, I have been. I just gotta keep hitting save. Okay. Oh, that'll succeed. Let me see if I get a 1 now, just for... Oh, that succeeds for the 2.
Yep. So you're able to just kind of like... You are in a frenzy at this point. You are mad as fuck, and you're able to just kind of dig through his wool and just take your claws and just like stab him where you think the heart is, and you just hear the guy go, "Oh, my wife!" and bam, onto the floor dead.
I'm gonna enjoy these lamb chops. You're not singing along with me, motherfucker.
So that's That's move a point from criminal to bear as you have successfully murderized this thing. Next up is the sheep, and just seeing his friend go down, he's like, Billy, no! And just tries to ram you with his head. And you're a bear 5, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately, because you're making me get bear points for these attacks.
Oof.
And it is your bear ability. But no, he misses wide, and you're able to just kind of like tuck out of the way. Next up is Wilbur. You're up.
Wilbur will go ahead and quickly just call out to Grease. It's just like, come on, you're getting a little bit too feral. Use some of that sorcery or something, like lightning or whatever. And he'll quickly kind of look on over towards these sheep. And he's just like, for example. Wait, is the taser still usable at all? Or
Nah,
No,
you
it's
spent it.
dead.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just bear out then. Why not? And he's just gonna charge forward and go for swipes at the other that tried to hit Michael. Tried to hit Heath. Grease.
Alright. Make your attack as a bear. Again, no!
We're not getting lucky.
No, you guys like just go. You try and just like pounce onto the sheep, but it's just too agile for you to catch up with your old age.
True.
Alright, it's one of the sheep's turn. Seeing as you just try to pounce on his friend, he's gonna try to ram you. And again, no! You you guys are an evenly matched force here. As it just like tries to pounce into you, but you're able to just kind of redirect it. Next up is Ursa. You got the cow in front of you.
Alright, I'm gonna go into flashback. As she hears him say, you're one tough gal. She remembers at a bar a long time ago, years past. And, you hear her name was Lola. She was a dancer. She had some feathers in her hair, and all that basically that kind of setting.
Gotcha.
She remembers this beautiful, handsome lad, very strong bear of the unfortunately criminal kind, and how he wooed her so, and called her a very tough bear, and then remembering finding him one day in the alleyway shot by another enemy gang. And so she went on to take revenge for her lover's death. And she just kind of comes back to...
Alright, move 1 point from bear to criminal.
So, back to the
Bear
prison.
angst.
And,
Ursa just spaces out for a minute.
she just spaces out for a minute, and then blinks with a little tear to her eye, but she shakes it off, and she's just... this is enough. We've gone too far. And she goes to
Well, that was your turn.
That was your turn, yeah, the flashback's your turn.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So, yep, holds.
Alright, it's the cow's turn. Seeing as he's already like face to face with you, he'll just try to headbutt you and ram you with his horns.
Who?
The cow.
Ursa.
Me?
No, Ursa.
Ursa.
Yes.
But no, you have a skull as thick as steel, and you just. He's just like looks at you. He's like, man, if I wasn't afraid you'd eat me, I'd dash you out.
It's too bad you're not my type.
Yeah, she likes
next
it
up is
medium rare.
With that comment, the sheep goes, "You bastards!" He'll attack Wilbur.
Oh man, wonderful. Do it.
Nope. Just continues to miss. This would be great on any other night. But no, just Wilbur, you're able just to keep your ground steady. It is Grease's turn.
Okay, Grace will stop and think back to Wilbur saying, like, he's right. I'm getting too feral. Gotta remember my origins. Gotta remember where I came from. And when he does a flashback, doodaloo, 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 and what you see is just this young, handsome badger boy combing in front of his hair. Don't worry, Mama. I'm gonna bring home lots of food. We'll be good, Mama. I will take care of you. I'm gonna go out and do my singing. He goes out in what seems like an old school country club with his guitar. It's like, I was born in the ghetto. The ghetto.
Oh my
when Mama
fucking
God. Up the feet. Doing his song. Cause they not born about 2 feet in the ghetto. The ghetto.
I'm halfway tempted to not let you get it.
But as he do so,
You said bastards. You're no better than any of us.
as he sings his song, he gets approached by a criminal underground who realizes he's not making funny, but he goes, "Oi, I can teach you how to way to make some real cash." As he gets his origins in the criminal underground world, he earned money to earn some money to keep him and his mama fed because his music career was going nowhere, so he became a criminal.
Yeah, I will allow you to switch a point from bear to criminal, but that will be your turn, and the next sheep goes up. Still upset about the loss of his brother, he will attack you, Grease.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Don't
Yep.
hit.
There! As you start pulling yourself back together, your memory is interrupted by this sheep who just jumps up next to you and just kicks you with his hind legs again, hitting you into the wall you were already next to. So you're back to 5-1.
Yeah. It's a good thing I did it, otherwise I'd be dead.
Yeah, no, he's like, you'll pay for everything. What will I tell Ma? Next up is Wilbur.
You see, it's always with you plant-munching folk that always cause the problems. I'm taking you down.
And he's gonna go ahead and rush at the same sheep again.
Alright.
God damn it. And this time he's gonna purchase the wool for leverage.
Sure.
Oh, you got him!
Alright, this time, you just pick this sheep up by the wool, and you just slam him into the wall. And then with a crunching thud, and you just do it again and again and again, and move a point from criminal into bear as this sheep's skull has been caved in. And you see the other sheep who is aggressively attacking Grease go, "No! Joseph!
My second cousin!
My estranged lover!"
Oh my.
I hate it! I fucking hate it! I fucking hate it!
It
Wait,
is
are there 2 sheep or 3 sheep?
there were 3.
Okay.
there's 1 sheep.
where-
Yeah, no,
Oh.
and since that
Counting.
guy's dead, Zaku, Ursa, you're up.
Alright, so yeah, she had her flashback, her lover gone, all the failures that have happened so far. She is once again riled up, and she looks straight up at the cow who is like high key hitting on her. Just your face would look better bashed in, and she goes to use the baton again and whack him straight at the skull.
Make a muscles check.
Make a muscles cheek.
Oh, come on!
No,
Ursula,
you-
no advantage, it's muscle!
No, that's right. You're alright. Let's roll again.
It's like, ooh!
There you go. So you take the baton and you actually bash him onto the head, and he just backs up, just kind of clutching his hooves over his head. He is a boss, so he has more than 1 health, but you did hit him pretty hard.
Criminal point, I take it?
Yep,
Yep.
pointed into criminal. So, as he's standing there, he just looks at you, and just kind of rubs one of his hooves on the ground and just charges at you.
Wow.
Oh, you're able to sidestep him and just he like ends up near the entrance to the alley.
Foolish. Disgusting. No manners.
It is the last sheep's turn as he is dead set on just killing you all. Fuck, Grace, you're the closest to him. He'll attack you again. just
Wait a
because-
minute, it's my turn before that sheep.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember. We never took initiative. I know there's
No,
three sheep
because
at one
we killed the sheep that was going first. Then it was that was the first sheep that died, right? Because that was the one I ripped the heart out of. So it's my turn before the sheep.
The one that's attacking Grease is the one that, Grease would move first, and then the sheep.
Then he attacked me. That's how I kept my flashback from dying, right?
You're right.
So
You're right.
using another flashback point, Grease goes, "Wait, remember Mama? Yes, just remember Mama. Come on, Grease, remember Mama." And he goes back to where he comes back after his first honey heist, earning money, and he comes back where his mama has his tears like, "Oh, Grease, I'm so happy," as he brings home a big tub of honey for them to eat, and for the first time in ages, they have a honey meal, and the life of crime is paying off. His mama's happy, and he's happy, and life's all good, and crime can pay for this just to keep his mama happy. He gave up his career of a musician for mama.
Move a point from bear to criminalize some foes. It is now the sheep's turn, though.
It is.
Then he will attack you again because you are the closest, and he watched you kill his brother.
Wilbur killed his lover.
He'll get there eventually.
Oh, hit me again.
He just bites into your shoulder and is just like, "I'll make you all pay." That'll be his turn. Wilbur, you're up.
Yeah. Pay. Let's move on with it already.
And he's gonna go ahead and go for the same charge as he kind of bit Grease. Wilbur's gonna attempt to grab the sheep by the neck and just slam him into the ground.
All right, make a bear check.
1 second.
That's
Yes,
a success
Yes.
right
So you grab him by the throat and just more or less choke slam him into the ground with a meaty crunch, and he goes, "Wah!"
Because
That only leaves the cow lift standing. So that means Ursa, it's your turn now.
She so as the cow charges and misses, and she's throwing shade at him, she she then does a little crack of her knuckles, and she says, "All right, you want to charge? Then let us charge." And she gets on all fours again. Fuck the getting blood on her, whatnot. It's gonna happen. This needs to get done now. And she goes to charge and attempt to make a big old bite.
All right, make a muscles check for me.
Yeah, muscles is that
Criminal.
Would that be criminal?
Criminal is your muscles is your criminal expertise.
Oh, because I thought charging.
Or you can go bear. Well, it depends whether you want advantage as a criminal or just a flat bear, I guess.
Yeah, you can either go flat bear or get criminal with advantage.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll take criminal. Looking at my
Alright.
thing. Okay,
Alright.
so 2d6.
Double.
All right, you lay into this motherfucker. He's just his nice cow suit is just getting torn to fucking pieces, and you see him just wobbling on his legs as he just backs up, and you just see him breathing heavy. He's still standing though, and he's just "You bears are all the same, coming in on our turf, trying to mess up our lives. Well, no more, you see. No more!" And as he goes for his coat, you hear a loud "Rah!" as a car just bust into the alleyway, and you just see him get hit, and it's like ah, and falls flat, and just as you just see like a huge chunk of his chest is now just exposed on the ground, and he's just completely just out, just dead. And you just see the polar bear who drove you here in the first place with a lot more Sharpie like all over his face to kind of look more like a beard, leans out the window and just goes, "Duh, get in."
It is about time.
I reckon that's the
Good
best
time
we
as
can do, friend.
always.
Doing up
Let's
the gear.
mosey on
Get
out.
in.
Here, grab
So
the
you
honey.
spend the
Sorry, you both talked at the same time. I got none of that.
So you all just spend the next 5 or so minutes just quickly loading the stuff into the car as quickly as possible, and as you start pulling out away from the bank, you hear a sudden as like sirens go off, and the police start swarming the bank. But fortunately enough, you guys were able to get out clean before anything happens. The polar bear then takes you to a warehouse at the near the docks of the Great Lakes, and he says, "Boss is waiting for you. Do not disappoint."
No problem, my friend. Let's
Never
mosey on over.
disappointed before. Won't do it now.
This is nothing.
So you all get out, go into the warehouse where you see Mr. Honey Heister looking at you, flipping a coin, catches it when he sees you enter the building. He says, "My friends, you have done great work. A little louder than expected, but otherwise fine work. I hear that word has it that you made off with a decent amount of honey, and you took a bit out of the ranch's numbers."
Like them plant munchers much.
They the worst. Always so one-sided in their thinking. Why not enjoy both plants and animals?
I
what
could
makes
never
us-
understand.
It's what makes us omnivores a bit more three-dimensional. But as stated before, your job was done well enough. Your pay will be calculated, and you'll get your cuts. And I must say, Miss Ursa, red is a fantastic-looking color on you.
I know. I was already told before.
Well, if you'd like to stay for that chat afterwards, we can talk about increasing your cut. But for you two, though, good enough job. Why don't you get out and enjoy your cut?
I need to wind down a little bit as much as I want to dive right into honey and read heaven.
Oh,
Good.
and Wilbert, I put a little something extra in there for you.
That being,
I think you have the idea already. As he gives you a wink as he tosses you another bamboo stick.
oh,
It's very much that uh
Take a breath. Take a breath.
I'm laughing because it's very much this. Very much this.
Hey.
But yeah.
Well, I think we got some work to do. My boys are gonna start unloading the shipment, and we're gonna start making sure everyone gets their cut. Good work, and I think we'll have further business meetings in the future. As he starts walking off, and as you all take in your cut, delving into your honey and bamboo, I think that is where we will end the session.
Yeah, thanks there, Michael. That was a lot of fun.
I hope you guys enjoy.